What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
There you have it. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Welcome to a brand new episode of Ike Live. Once again, banging out the hits for you. We got a special one tonight. This is kind of breaking news, too, before I even intro the room. Brandon Palaniuk, who won the Bass Elite Tournament on Champlain like 5 minutes ago or something. What was it, 10 minutes ago? Had to be just within a few minutes. Brandon's going to be on the show. Also, we've got Ryan Salzman. Ryan Salzman coming on the show here at Ike Live to talk about some very strange, bizarre stuff that's going on down there in Alabama.
There was some shatting.
Right.
Someone shat upon his truck.
Right. This is going to be a good one, man. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's going to be a great show. Hang in there with us. I want to intro the room, and, of course, I want to start this time. I don't want to start with the room. I actually want to start with my co-host. You know him, the crust of the show, the one and only Pete Glusick, the Dean, joining us via Zoom. Pete, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Pete.
Lot going on in the fishing world right now, and it's going to be fun to talk about tonight. Especially, I heard the news about Vegas today. Very exciting stuff.
Yes. Vegas and Brandon with big wins on the same day. It's kind of cool.
It is cool. Brandon's win was truly amazing. I mean, those guys, oh my gosh, there was 5 guys within a pound of each other going into the last day.
I love those events. I love those ones, Pete. Those tight ones where there's no runaway, guy. They're the ones
I think one of the stories there too was Lake Champlain. Like that. I mean, I've never seen a smallmouth weigh that much.
Right.
Yeah, that was stupid looking.
In Champlain tournaments. That was
the
17-pound, 18-pound, 19-pound bags of smallmouth. They're usually very hard to come by.
Right.
It seemed like everybody got them this week.
They had the thickness.
They did. They had the thickness. It's going to be good talking to Brandon. Can't wait. Want to intro the rest of the room. Sitting next to me here tonight on the other soft, old, beat-down chair. Guess that's what we're calling him. We've got the one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fat A.K. Wharf. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Oh, excellent, man. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. I know you got hours change with work. Trying to track you down. It's hard.
Yeah, man. Every week it changes. But tonight I'm good to go.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're here. Of course, producing the show tonight, pushing buttons, making magic happen behind the booth over there. We've got the one and only Brian the Carpenter. Brian, how you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic, Mike.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, guy.
Good to see you, man. And finally, last but definitely not least, a very important part of the show. If you have the same view I have, you can probably see his ball sack right now. We've got the one and only Rich, a.k.a. Riz, a.k.a. Rizzo, on the IMs for us tonight. Riz, how you doing?
Good, man. Happy to be back in studio for another awesome Ike Live show.
Good to see you.
Just call him Mr. Upskirt tonight.
Yeah.
Mr. Upskirt.
Upskirt.
Definitely Mr.
You need
Upskirt.
to put Becky's hog in front of my
I
my
know.
upskirt.
Yeah, you got to replace the hog so you can hide it. As always, Ike Live Show is brought to you by a lot of companies that really make this show happen and support the show. We want to give them a quick shout out. Of course, Mystery Tackle Box, presenting sponsor of this show. Man, it's like Christmas at your door once a month. It's a great. The black box is great for intro and new baits, new stuff, new techniques. Tackle Warehouse, of course, everybody I know uses Tackle Warehouse. Bass University, great sponsor of the show. And Pete, I'm going to ask you if you got anything going on over there in a second here. TH Marine, Dr. Squatch, Liquid Mayhem, Flambeau, Hobie, Founders, and you see a couple all-day IPAs going around the table tonight. I see one in the back and one in the front here. And here's a good one. And this is an amazing, amazing sponsor that has come on board. And we want to give him a special shout-out tonight. New sponsor of Ike Live. Tin Cup Whiskey officially joining Ike Live. Cheers, Dave. We got a little tin cup going down right now.
Hold on. Let me in on that action. All right. Wee.
Clink.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Riz.
Cheers.
Special shout-out. Pete, do you have any tin cup there? If not, we're going to overnight you some right now. So
I need to get some overnighted.
Okay.
That's great news. I'm excited to hear about Tin Cup.
Tin
We
Cup.
got to have some down at the Classic. It was amazing. Got to meet the guys from Tin Cup. And,
That's right.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff.
It's great stuff. And all those amazing sponsors, go on the IkeLive.com site, and you'll be able to see the promo codes for all those companies with some great offers to you. Listen to me. Right now, if you're watching over on Facebook, you know the deal. We're going to be giving away this world-famous Ike Live gift bag. It weighs at least 20 pounds. Dave, give me a gauge on that. Would you say 20, 23 pounds in that range?
Heavy.
It's heavy.
Definitely an Iaconelli 23 pounder.
It's in the 23-pound range. I'm telling you, I know weights of stuff. I'm very, very accurate with weights, guessing weights. This is in the 20s. If you're over on Facebook, do me a favor. All you have to do for a chance to win this bag is like and share the feed. If you do that, Riz, in the last segment, we're going to pick a winner. Is that correct, Click?
That is absolutely correct, Mike.
Okay.
And also, guys, over on the Facebook page and our YouTube page, make sure you got your notifications turned on so that you can stay up to date with all the general goofiness that we have going on with the Ike Live crew and the Ike Live page. And, guys, if you're out there and you haven't checked out the Ike Live YouTube channel yet, go over there and check it out. We're releasing stuff over there.
Great content.
Every week, sometimes twice a week.
Great content.
There's boat builds, there's kayak builds, there's fishing content.
There's general goofiness.
There's general goofiness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff out there. So check out the Ike Live YouTube page and turn the notifications on.
Yeah.
There's prejudiced editing, besmirching my skills.
That's true. Some of that's happened as well, I think. Also, want to remind you, if you're watching tonight, your feedback is critical. Very critical, like a black leech up north when you're fishing for smallmouth. It's critical. We want to hear from you. Hit us up on the IM, and Riz is going to put them through, man. If something really special comes through, we may even throw a couple more prizes out tonight, Dave. Who knows, right?
Was that a Lindner Brothers critical?
Yeah,
Critical.
That was the Linder brothers. That was an I think it was an Al or a Ron. It was one of the Linders.
Critical.
Critical.
Dave,
It's a black leech. It's critical.
Dave, Mike P wants to know why you've already had to erase what you're writing down several times in the show.
Tell Mike P. Special education.
The HTE. No, that's wrong.
That's
the. It's all right. It's all right. Pete, real quick, I do want to hear Bass University's rocking, of course. I know you just filmed some amazing new content with Jeff last week. Give us an update. What's going on with BU? What are people looking out for? What's going on here?
The big news continues to be the Bass U app, which we dropped last week, and everybody's using it. We're getting great reviews over at the app stores and the Google Play Store. So go check it out. It's a great way to get the content on your mobile device. It makes it super easy on your iPhone or your Android device. And go check that out. And we've got great stuff. We're remastering some of our really amazing content. One of which is the Greg Hackney Shallow Cranking piece, which was extremely well viewed over at the site. And we're delivering that real soon, as well as Schooling Bass with Fred Rombana. So a lot, as always, going on right in line with what's happening in fishing right now as we get into the summertime, schooling time. Go check it out at bassu.tv.
Very, very good. Very, very good. And before we start the show, Brian and Carpenter, of course, every show we want to start by saying thank you to the military, our men and women in the service, active veterans. Thank you for what you do. It is definitely a crazy, bizarre world right now. Also, shout out to policemen, firemen, EMT, first responders, doctors. Thank you, guys. It's freaking nuts. The world is nuts right now, man. I do want to, before, I know, Brian, we've got Brandon Palaniuk coming on. We'll remind everybody again watching right now, if you're just tuning in, what a great show we have for you tonight. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have 2 big segments. Of course, Brandon Palaniuk is going to be joining us in the first segment. We're going to grill him, man. We're going to grill him on this win. It's a big win. I know it's exciting, but, you know, it's the first year back to Bass. And he goes back and wins one. I mean, I want to hear from him about that. It's got to feel right to him. You know?
I immediately thought was like how are those guys that were there last year at the Classic and no one knew who they like? How are they feeling that a couple of the hammers are back, a couple of the heavyweights are back? You know,
I don't know.
Now imagine if there is ever a mass defection.
Yeah,
you know how crushing that must be. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You know, or they feel the opposite, or they feel like, you know, now they're competing against some of the biggest names in the sport. You know, Brandon for sure is one. Gerald Swindle for sure is one. Guys with AOYs, guys with classic titles.
Yeah.
You know, when you win there and when you beat those guys there, it's got to feel right. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. You know, it's. I feel like that in local tournaments. Like, you know, I know that analogy is a little off, but, you know, when I go to these Thursday nighters, these guys are hammers at these places. That's all they fish. You know, you go to DOD with guys that fish there every other day, and, you know, when you go there and hang, it feels better. You know, if those guys weren't there, you're like, oh, I want a Thursday nighter, but it's a bunch of scrubs. You know, but when you go to a Thursday nighter and you got Riz, you know, and you got a dude that fishes there every other day, and then you win, then you're like, oh, man, that feels good. You know, so who knows?
It's good to see Bass back on ESPN, too.
It's great to see him back on ESPN,
like setting the DVR to record that. Like, I'm old school, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, but I know the same content's on the internet. But for me watching it, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's great to see it live. I can tell you this. And Brian Carpenter, tell me if you agree. Riz, tell me if you agree. Watching something live on your device, on your little phone, I want to hear from you too, Pete, on this. It feels different than when I've watched it the last few days on ESPN2 live. It just feels different. I can't explain it.
What do you like better?
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's on this giant screen. Maybe the fact that some subconscious, you know, I know that the sports world is seeing this as well at the same time. I don't know. I enjoy watching it on ESPN2 live better than I did on my phone or my tablet.
See, I don't know. Like, I watched you win sitting on the edge of my ottoman on ESPN. You know, you won the Classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I imagine it's probably a generational thing, right?
Yeah, maybe it is.
I'm not following what are you griping about?
I'm not griping. We're just saying that Mike and I are kind of saying we like seeing it on TV better than watching it on a device. That's all.
Of course you do. The TV's damn 70 inches and this thing's straight.
Hey, but we're not arguing
is this a
about
real
it.
conversation?
Of course it is.
Okay.
Jeez, well, sorry, drunk dad.
No, I like bigger screen better than little screen. Let's go into depth on this.
Now,
sorry, drunk dad. We'll shut up.
I'll jump in on this from the other side. That I watch Bass Live off of my phone and laptop or tablet almost exclusively.
Then you just hear drunk dad.
Yeah, because I can take this with me wherever I'm going. I can take the tablet with me wherever I'm going, moving around, and still watch it. Plus, I don't have cable at my house because I don't want to pay for it.
My man, I appreciate you for that.
Fuck that cable.
Yeah.
I watch it live while I'm fishing. That's one of my favorite ways to watch it.
Wow. Watching it live while you're fishing.
While I'm fishing.
Right.
I'll you're out on the water. I've got a headset in. I've got my, it's on my phone, and I'm listening to what's going on. Yeah. And you can listen just to the conversation because they do such a good job over there.
Yeah,
that they do.
Fishing back page.
You start hearing the spinning reel sing, and then you can stop and pick up your phone to see who's catching what.
Yeah.
You know? And it keeps me dialed in. But just so you know, I cast to my big screen TV. From your iPhone, you can easily do that.
So you're up on technology.
And that's the way I prefer to do it.
Yeah, when you're dead stick in open water, it's a piece of cake to watch TV at the same time.
But getting back to the other point of this, which is ESPN now, seeing that sports giant
absolutely
start to pay more attention to fishing
for sure.
And part of it, I think, is COVID,
Yeah.
right? They are
a big part.
A big part of it is COVID, and they're hurting for content.
Otherwise, bowling would be on.
Right. Otherwise, bowling would be on.
Thumb
or
wrestling.
pocket ball. But I do like it. I think ESPN's embracing it. Of course, Pete, we know some people that we work with mutually have connections over at ESPN, and you see them showing a renewed interest in the sport. Also, dude, I'm seeing posts that ESPN is retweeting or reposting of athletes fishing.
Yeah.
All the big basketball guys down in Orlando, when they're not fishing, a lot of them are out on the ponds. They're bass fishing.
Yeah.
I saw a saltwater post where a guy's reeling in a tuna, of an athlete. So I'm seeing this renewed interest in fishing from ESPN. I like it.
How do we lose to cornhole?
I don't know.
I don't think we do. I mean,
They have cornhole on ESPN, dude, before the COVID.
Did they?
Oh, God, yes,
know.
dude. There's teams.
Yeah.
They have jerseys. They got Ish would be furious. They have like Stolen Valor jerseys on, and
Ish would
they're
be
sponsored by
furious.
coffee companies and
Yeah.
dude.
Black Rifle Coffee.
No, like Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Yeah, man. I
Jeez.
don't know.
wow, mainstream.
That is mainstream.
That is a big
Ronnie
spot.
Moore was commenting a lot about the viewers that they were getting on ESPN2 that were brand new to fishing, which I thought was awesome.
Good.
You know, they went out of their way to highlight them and talk to them and
Right.
address their questions on the show, because they're getting a lot of people never saw fishing before, thought it was fascinating.
It's great. And that's always been, of course, Major League Fishing's one of their highlights has always been,
Reach new people.
we reach new people because we're on Discovery, and I think they do. But again, live, having it live on ESPN, reaching new people feels different than a show that was taped 10 months ago, airing on Discovery. I do want to catch up a little on what's going on. From my end, I can tell you, I do want to talk about two things, Brian Carpenter, real quick, which is had an amazing opportunity. I know you did too, to fish and film with Jim Miller, a good friend of the show.
Yes.
From one of the early episodes,
Yes.
years and years ago, when we fished and filmed with
Jim and
Jim and his
Dan.
brother. Yeah.
Dan, yeah.
Yeah, so it was great to be up there hanging with Jim again. Dude, this is the second, I remembered it when Jim was here before, and then I instantly...
Look, for people watching, Jim Miller's a UFC fighter. He's a lightweight. What's he... Most octagon appearances?
Yeah, he's the current record holder for appearances.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Current record holder for octagon appearances. That's a bad man.
It's a bad dude. It's a bad dude. But
Yeah.
here's what I remembered instantly, like within 5 minutes of going to his gym and meeting Jim again, was how nice and down to earth he is.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Like, he is the nicest. Like, if you met him on the street, he's just a nice
guy.
dude.
I think a lot of them guys, they get it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them, they get it out of them. That's what they do when they're working out.
There's no
When they're
room
when they're
for-
in the gym, when they're fighting, they're getting a lot of that out of their system.
And there's no room for the ego when you go to a gym. There's always somebody that's a little bit bigger, a little bit better than you. That if you come in with an ego, they're going to punch you in the nose and you forget about it real quick.
Yeah, I think there's a confidence. To jump in a second, I think there's also a confidence you have when you're that much of a badass. That You don't have to have an ego.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. If you could kill 99.9% of the population without a weapon in your hand, it's kind of like your Bill Gates going and buying a pack of batteries. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you got that. You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah.
In the store that they're in, take them batteries and this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll take the whole store immediately. But he's just such a great dude. But so I got a chance to go up there, Dave. This was incredible. Of course, when he was here with his brother, we had a mat here, and we did some of that stuff, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. But I got to go to his gym and do all that over again, plus more.
Yeah.
And his facility is great. He has an octagon there, not a smaller version of the official size, but man, it makes you remember how fucking good these guys are, how talented they are, right? Because you watch it on TV and you're like, yeah, man, they're getting in fights, and you just think it's just but no, dude.
Did you see guys training?
Oh yeah, there were some other guys training.
Yeah.
But I mean, these guys, their technique, the skill. Pete, his wrestling techniques are so unbelievable. So at one point, I told Brian this. At one point, they had me go in the octagon with Jim and literally just try to, not using anything I had just learned, but try to take Jim down. It was impossible. I mean, for 5 minutes, I did everything I could do to move him. I couldn't even move the guy. I couldn't even move him. And at the end of it,
size too.
Oh yeah, he's my size. At the end of it, he just got sort of frustrated with me. He was just like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "What the? What just happened?" Oh yeah, he flipped me down.
In your defense, with the way you could break dance and how agile you would have been an amazing wrestler if you would.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that would have. He would have.
I don't know about that, but his the technique and the skill is so unbelievable, and and again, until you're there having it happen, you don't really appreciate it. I want to tell you one other story, real quick, Pete. Real quick. So, he was teaching me the guillotine, and he has a particular way that he imposes that move that's a little different. And I was, so learning all these techniques, and he's showing me. And on most of these, I wanted to have it done to me first, so I could sort of figure it out. And so Jim's like, all right, no problem. I'm gonna do it on you. And I, just tap, when it's too much. I said, all right, and my mind's thinking, and I'm really trying to pay attention, and I'm trying to learn. And dude, he gets me in this thing, and I'm gagging, choking, blacking out, passing out all at the same time, and I forget to tap because my mind's somewhere else. So I'm just like, and I'm literally starting to see like white,
white flashes.
White flashes. Yeah. And he noticed, and then let off. He's like, why didn't you tap? I'm like, shit, I didn't remember.
I forgot.
I forgot.
My eyes were shooting out of
I
my
was fighting for my
skull.
life.
Yeah, but it was great, Pete. I know you have a wrestling background, but it was great, man.
Yeah, I remember when his brother Dan put me in a triangle hold, and for like a split second, and I still haven't recovered from that. I still feel it when I'm flipping and pitching and stuff.
Wow,
but
that's awesome.
I was just curious, if you had done any sparring. I see that you had done some wrestling sparring. I was just curious if they put headgear on and pads and
yeah, we did
punches with them.
We did. We did some punching. We did some stand up stuff.
Some punching.
Did you do some Muay Thai, kickboxing?
We did some kickboxing. And on the kickboxing, this is incredible.
We did fisticuffs.
Yeah, we did fishing.
Punching and kicking.
We did walking. We did eating at the restaurant. That was great too. But here's the great thing. So we did some of the Muay Thai stuff, and where Jim had one of his trainers there as well, and he's holding. I don't know the piece of equipment, but it's like a bag that you hold, like a pad. Yeah. And Jim's throwing these kicks, and every time his foot, and here's the thing, it's not his foot. It's his shin.
Where the bend is.
He's using his shin.
Yeah.
And every time he hits that bag, I swear he's pushing the guy back a foot.
And it sounds like a bat.
Dude, it sounds like a bat. It sounds like a firework gone off.
Yeah.
And then it's my time to go up and try, and I'm like, and I'm actually trying, Pete, right? I'm not, this isn't me pussyfoot. And I'm like, and I don't have, because when you look at him, he's not just kicking. He's like his whole.
Oh, it's torque. Yeah.
It's torque.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure that out. But when I'm hitting, it's like, eat. The dude's not even moving at all.
Damn it.
In fact, he's moving forward.
He's like bracing for it.
And there's another, and I'm like, oh god, and this is so embarrassing, and all this is being taped.
Look like Linus and Linus, right?
It's awesome. Terrible. It's terrible, but it was a great experience. And then I got to the next day I got to fish with Jim, which was very, very cool again, and remembered that he is a fisherman, for sure he could fish. And I love that. I love when you fish with celebrities or athletes and they're not holding the reel upside down. Like, he brought his own rod, his own reel, he had his own baits, he had his own frog tied on.
Yeah.
It was great. And we waded around. We did the hip wader stuff, which he does a lot of anyway, and it was really cool, getting a chance to fish with him. We caught a bunch of fish. We caught about a dozen fish, so it was good. It was a good day.
I thought I thought you might fish out of the Margay that he won a few years ago.
I know. We talked about that story. It's incredible. He won the first ever Ike Foundation Celebrity Pro-Am, him and his brother.
Yes, they did.
With Joe Sancho.
With Joe Sancho.
Yeah.
Is it
they
still
ended up
sitting
getting rid
under
of that boat finally.
Oh, they did? I thought it might still be sitting in the driveway.
They got rid of it. Yeah, I asked if he still had it. He said he didn't. So I don't know if he got rid of it. Yeah.
Very cool.
So Mike's punching bag on the message board wants to know if you got punked by Jim Miller, and that's why you had to wear pink pants.
Oh yes, I did. I lost the bet, so I have the pink pants on tonight.
Salmon.
Shout out to Jim Miller wearing salmon pants. So that was a great part of my week last week, and then of course I need to catch up tonight when we get Brandon on because I didn't see any of it. So Vegas had his second Bass Nation.
How about it?
Youth tournament today. They had a nice turnout on Manasquan Reservoir, which was awesome in itself. It's such a throwback.
Yeah.
Being there because we were all there the year the reservoir opened.
Yeah, half a lifetime ago.
Half a lifetime ago, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pete, it's like 91 or 92. Might be 92 when Manasquan opened. Right. And we were there when the trees were forest, everything was new. You know? And all these years later, still sort of looks the same, but a lot of the timber's fallen. There's a lot of grass in there now. Hydrilla and milfoil has gotten in there. Grass out to 13 feet, 14 feet, Pete, in spots. So it's a different fishery. But, it was nice getting out in the boat with another kid this time. So I was a boat captain for not just Vegas, but also a young man named Alex. Shout out to Alex. I'm sure he's not watching, but it was great to watch these kids go to work, and watch how they set up on this stuff and how they fished it under difficult conditions. We had a 10 to 15 mile an hour south wind. Ooh. So they were dealing with boat positioning and, line management and really
Vegas,
awesome.
Were you boat captain in the Crawdad with two kids?
We took the big boat today.
Oh, okay.
Took the big boat, which was a blessing in disguise with the waves and stuff on Manasquan today. It would have been tough in a Crawdad. So
Vegas runs the trolling motor on the Cat?
Vegas runs the trolling motor, does a pretty good job. We use the anchor lock a lot.
Spot lock.
Lawrence's version of spot lock.
Right. Sorry about that.
We used a lot, and I can coach them a little bit, so they'd get in a little spot that was sort of right, and I actually started the morning out drawing them diagrams on paper. It was really cool because I'd never coached any organized sport before, right? So I got these two kids, and I'm drawing on just regular white paper with a Sharpie, like scenarios, what to look for.
Dude, you need coach shorts for the next one.
Yeah.
Coach shorts.
Yeah, like Coach Phil Petit coach
shorts. Oh, yeah.
Like you need the coach
You're right.
shorts, dude.
I do.
The Rydell coach shorts.
Yeah, maybe a whistle, too.
How about being the kid that gets the draw to be on the boat with Mike?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then there's another kid that doesn't get the draw with Mike.
It was fun, though.
Awesome.
And Vegas had another good one. This one was a little tougher. He had seven keeper bites all day. He landed 5 of the 7 keeper bites.
Okay.
So I got to watch him put in a limit that weighed about 12.5 pounds.
Dang.
Wow. Man, that's awesome.
With
Good night.
lunker of the tournament.
Oh,
not just in his division, but of the entire tournament. 4.54.
Dude, you got to have him start throwing a couple of these. He's going to get to the point where he wins, and there's going to be no one clapping. It's going to be like his grandma.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be singing watching him win, dude.
Well, that's what Beck said, because I was like, he had one keeper early. Pete, he had about a 2.5 pound smallmouth early. And then that area kind of shut down. They made a decision. They wanted to try something else. They moved to a different spot. And on his first drop on this other spot, he hooks about a 4 pound smallmouth.
Oh, my God.
Way out there. It jumps like eye level. And I'm like, oh, God. I've got the net. Extended. The net's in the water. He gets it about halfway to the boat and makes a dive and pops off. And I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I just decompressed the net, put it down, but inside I'm thinking, fuck!
How close to the net was he?
Not close to the net, that one. So he's got one in the well, and then about 30 minutes later, he hooks another one. This one jumps eye level, and it's a 3 pound smallmouth. And this one, he gets to the boat, and I got the net out, and it's heading to the net, and it's, you know how they get on the top, and they're riding the top, sort of? He's not jumping, but he's just riding the top. And he's coming. Poop. the hook pops out. So he's got one fish in the well, and again, I want to harp on this because it is something I do not have. Dude, when that happened, I just fell. I fell on the deck. I fell down. I took my buff.
You broke his rod for him,
No,
right?
I fell completely down on the deck. Pete, like I collapsed, right? I took the buff and I put it completely over my face so the kids couldn't see my face.
And hear your words.
And underneath of it, I'm just, and I pulled the buff down and looked at Vegas and I watched and he's looking at his hook. He's feeling the point a little bit. And he looks at the bait. He pulls the bait off. He puts the bait back on the hook, adjusts it, and opens the bail and makes another cast. Never says a word and makes another cast, starts fishing. And I'm like, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable. And I know other anglers that have that, and he has it.
It's called evolution.
It's evolution. It's evolution from caveman, you know?
He talked about that during our interview when he was on the show.
He did it again.
I asked him that question. How do you keep your head together?
He did it
And he's
again.
like,
So,
yeah,
you know,
like,
think about
kinda,
that. Think about that, Pete. You've got one in the well. You lose a 4 and a 3, and you got one in the well. I wouldn't handle that well.
I'd be going like David Mullins did at the tournament today.
Oh, did he have some heartbreak?
Oh my God, he had heartbreaks of monstrous proportions.
He was right there, man.
He had giant 4.5-pound smallies just coming unbuttoned on his crankbait. And after like what Vegas experienced, it was the first one he choked down. I think it was the second or third one that just you know, he came unglued.
You could feel the emotion like in his voice. It was horrible.
Rightfully so. I mean, it's hard to recover from. Vegas has got the gift.
Yeah.
How cool is it to watch all that play out, man? Like,
it's great. It's great, but it's stressful. Like I was telling you, I had freaking iced coffee before I came up here to the show because I'm exhausted, not just from the 2 early mornings in a row, but from the stress of it. Yeah. I'm stressed out. I can feel it. Yeah. And the hardest thing, Dave, is you like in a regular, like a sporting event where you're coaching, you can, direct them kids a little more. Here, I can only do certain things, so like, I'm seeing fish I'm sitting back there and seeing fish on the graph under the boat, and I'm like, look, you want to be like, look, and I want to fish, I want to help, but I can't, so I'm stuck sitting there, and I don't know, man, I'm stressed out, I can feel it, and every time these kids hook up, Alex hooked up with a 4.4 smallmouth. Oh. And the thing jumped I mean literally eye level next to me. I'm at the net and he's like, whoa. He jumps over the net this way. He's fighting. If it comes back, it jumps again eye level. This one I scooped out of the air. Like a net.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I scooped him out of the air. But even
awesome,
for Alex, every time the stress is so intense.
Yeah. How did he do?
He did good. He came in third in his age group, right? Wow. So I think seven kids in that division. And he took third with 2 fish, so that big one was the key for him.
Oh, yeah.
Did he yell at you and treat you like dirt on the first time you missed a fish? Or no,
no. He was the nicest kid in the world.
Yeah, talk about that, Dave.
What? No, just wondering.
Yeah, but it was great. It was a great experience to see Vegas win his second tournament this year. So
come on, man.
Shout out to Vegas the Hammer.
That's all I said, right?
Yeah, shout out to Vegas the Hammer. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. I think, Brian, let's get it going.
We got him.
I want to get it going, and if you're watching tonight, what a special guest we have joining us right now. This is really something that just happened. Shout out to Brian and Carpenter for making this happen. But if you're watching right now, we've got a amazing guest joining us right now. Literally, we've got to be. Maybe we're not. I don't know. We're going to ask him here in a second, but we've got to be one of the first or second live podcasts that get Brandon on. Brandon's going to be on 30 over the course of the next 4 or 5 days, so it's nice to get him on here. Joining us now, the recent, when I say recent, I mean minutes ago, champion from Lake Champlain, Bass Elite champion, Brandon Palaniuk, everybody. Brandon!
What's up?
How you doing?
Good. Just finishing my dinner.
Eating tapioca pudding? What is that?
No. It was Idaho and mashed potatoes, huh?
All right.
Oh, right.
And some chicken. It was like a homemade KFC chicken bowl.
I love it.
Nice.
All right, Brandon, are you in your camper? Or are you in a hotel? Are you in a house? What are you doing?
No, living the RV life.
Okay.
Campground.
RV life. All right. Most guys we get on right after they win, they're still in their tournament jersey and their smile ear from ear. They're still shaking. You look pretty mellow for a big win here, man. What is this?
I am pretty mellow. It was weird. Today was just like you've won. You've had those days.
Yeah.
Today was just weird in the fact that the win was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like I had such an incredible day of fishing.
Yeah.
I had so much fun and I enjoyed it so much that it was like the win was awesome.
Yeah.
But that was almost not the most awesome part of my day.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And I think after going 2 weeks straight, literally fishing 14 days straight now.
Yeah.
Getting up at 5, going dark to dark. I'm just relaxed.
Yeah, you're ready. You're ready.
You get all the build up all day long and all of that kind of stress. And I didn't feel stressed on the water, but you have that mental stress and everything weighing on you. And then once it happens and it's like, oof, like everything just releases.
Yeah, and here's the other story. You're coming off now 2 back-to-back cut finishes, back-to-back top 10s. And I'm looking at the AOY standings, man. You're slowly creeping up in the AOY standings. Yeah.
It's early in the year, but I really screwed myself at Eufaula. I've had 3 good events. Eufaula was just a tough one, but there's so much flip-flops in the standings right now because we're still early in the season.
Yeah.
Like we're only 4 events in.
Yeah.
So, these 2 weeks were really crucial to kind of get that ball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah.
St. Clair, hopefully it'll be another good event. And then the fall is going to be really kind of a crapshoot.
Right.
Because I've never fished in the South in the fall. And then it's just so much more junk fishing.
Yeah.
Type of stuff, where it takes a lot of that, I guess, home field advantage type stuff and things like that kind of out of play, I feel like.
Yeah.
In a lot of situations.
Yeah. All right. Now, we definitely want to talk to you here in a second. I know Pete's got a lot of questions for you on the technical side of what went down today. And I want to hear about that as well. But talk to me a little bit about holding that blue trophy up because, I want to hear it from you. It's special. I know it's special.
It is.
You've held other trophies. I've held other trophies, right? We've both won in other leagues. But I watched the weigh-in today. It was the only thing I caught because I was at Vegas's deal, but I got to watch the weigh-in. I got to watch you hoist that thing. Talk about that feeling a little bit. Coming back to fish bass from MLF, and now you're rehoisting that blue trophy. Talk to me about that.
You think that you would get immune to it, like that feeling, I guess, kind of. But every time I get in that position, I get choked up. And I don't know if it's like the nostalgia of it or like there's truly something special when you look at that trophy and it becomes yours. Like when you can say, yeah, I'm an Elite Series champion, it holds something.
Yeah.
And it means something, and that emotion is real.
Yeah.
And I actually try to fight it, and I can't. It just comes out. I've gotten better at like controlling it, I guess.
Yeah.
Or wrapping it up a little quicker. But it's something that you don't have the control over, and I don't know exactly what causes that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we still can't have those big crowds and everything.
Yeah.
Because like I will forever remember Philly when you won. That was like one of the most brutal fishing tournaments. And it's in like the least fishing part of the world.
Yeah.
But it was honestly probably the coolest weigh-in I've ever been to in my life. Like just the setup of it, like on the water, you got the backdrop there, and then the city, and it's kind of that Coliseum stadium.
Yeah, it's like an amphitheater.
Yeah, like that moment, and then everyone was chanting your name. Like that kind of stuff is what makes it so special.
Yeah.
And I think that every time moments like that happen, it just kind of compounds and makes those blue trophies that much more. That much more of a big deal. And I think the longer you do it, the more you understand how hard it is to actually win.
Yeah. It's hard to win.
When I won my first one, it was cool because it was my first one and I'd only been on 2 years. But the longer you do it, the more you realize that it's a special thing. Like everything can go right and you can make all the good right decisions and still get beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, up in the Adirondacks, it's different. Like it's New York, but they're different people. They're all standing around there with golden retrievers with scarves around their necks, watching the way.
There were still some people like in the distance. We still had some people in the distance, but not like we normally would. And, not because of their choice, but just because of everything that's going on. So it was a cool event, and this is the first one. I didn't even realize this till Tiff said something this evening, but this is actually the first win that I came back, like from the back of the pack.
Right.
Wow.
All the other ones I've led going into the final day that I've won. So it was, that part of it was cool too. I think it's just all that's sinking in still.
Yeah, it's hard to win any tournament, but to win, at the top level is very difficult. And you got another blue trophy, which is unbelievable. I know. I want you to talk about this side of it too. The elite trophy means a lot, has a lot of meaning, probably more than other trophies. But is it different? And I need you to really honestly address this for me, Brandon. Is it different? Is this one different because of that name factor? The last blue trophy you won, you had 100 of the biggest names in the sport. Now you've got 80 or 90, probably the same caliber of skill. I'm not taking nothing away from any of those guys. They're all talented, but they're not necessarily the biggest names in the sport. Does that make this win any different, or is it the same?
No. For me, the feeling was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because that feeling comes from the moments that happen throughout the week, and then they're amplified by the moments that have happened in your life, getting you to that point.
Yeah.
That's where all that emotion comes from. It doesn't just come from that one week. It comes from everything in your life that you built up working to that point.
Yeah.
And no matter how many you win, that's still I still get that same feeling.
Because you competed against the fish, right? Like you're always
I don't know,
and fish to win. It didn't matter who was fishing behind you. Like you figured out the deal.
Yeah,
100%. Like it just wasn't. Not once this year have I felt like I was fishing against a group of guys that were lesser fishermen. Like you still had to go catch them, and if you look at the weights are still equally as good as they were before at the same bodies of water, right? It still takes around 17 pounds. The first day was 17. I don't remember what it fell to a little bit, but it's like weights are about the same. Like that hasn't affected me. I think the first ones were really cool because I was fishing against the guys like yourself and stuff that I had grown up idolizing and watching. And then there's not as many of you guys that I'm competing against now.
Yeah.
So that part of it's different. But the true emotion and feeling of it was no less than any of the first three.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Can I ask a question, Mike?
Yeah, go, Pete.
Brandon, and congrats, man. It was so much fun watching. But you went through a bunch of decisions. Like, you made massive decisions in your career to get back here. It's got to be gratifying, a sense, winning this tournament. Do you feel that way? Like you're at home, this is where you should be?
Yeah, I think I already felt that way before. It's just more of like a solidifying thing. And it's not like, oh, I won it. Yeah, this is where I should be. it's the feeling that I get when I'm out there competing, and then when you win is what that to me is what makes it feel right. You know, and that's what I felt like I had lacked a little bit before. And so coming back to get that kind of emotion, like if you watched live at all today, like you just saw how much fun I had on the water. And that to me is like, I just thoroughly enjoyed my day on the water.
You were giggly.
I was a little giggling like a little schoolgirl, I guess, while reeling in 4.5 pounders because it was like every rock I moved over to, I caught one bigger, and I would catch one. I'm like, oh, that's my biggest one of the day. And then the next time I set the hook, it would be bigger than that one. And it was just amazing.
Wow.
I was thinking you might have regrets when the wind started blowing at 15 miles an hour and you had to get around Cumberland Head to get back to the weigh-in. Thinking, yeah, boy, it was pretty cool over at the MLF when we got the trailer to play.
I won't lie. That's a pretty solid part of that program. It's like, hey, Tiff, I'm at the end of the lake. You want to come pick me up at the ramp down at the other end?
Yeah, but I'll jump.
That also takes away.
Yeah,
it takes away from some of it. Like I pushed it. I was at the gut with 18 minutes left.
Oh.
And had to run across there. And it was intense.
That's awesome.
It was intense.
Seth lost graphs on the way back to the ramp.
Did Seth lose the graphs?
Lost both the graphs off the front of his boat.
Wow.
Literally ripped him right off, both of them.
Scuba divers out there right now looking for him.
It went from like almost being flat calm to like, oh, hey, we should start working our way back. And on our way back, it went from like a 3 to 5 mile an hour wind to a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind. Like as we were on our way back, and it just instantly built into this gauntlet of waves. I mean, you guys came around there, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, it was blowing 60 miles down the pipe.
Yeah. I want to say something real quick, and then we're going to hand it over to Riz. Got a lot of questions coming through. You guys mentioned, Pete and Brandon, you mentioned, joking about the MLF thing. I gotta be honest with you, though, and tell you that.
Yeah, actually, I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah,
on that.
my opinion on that is, from a safety standpoint, for sure, I get, I understand why MLF has that.
Yeah.
But, Brandon, that last tournament I fished up on Sturgeon Bay, it didn't feel right. Trailering to a ramp, getting to take out and drive to another one. Like, for me, part of the tournament fishing is that pressure that you just talked about, right?
First reward.
Yeah. It's like, that strategy of that big run in the morning or that short run in the morning, calculating, can I get there? Can I make it back? That to me is a part of tournament fishing that's missing from that other format,
Yeah.
Safety aside, I didn't like it. It felt weird. It felt very strange to me.
Yeah, and I absolutely get that. I think that's something that the anglers, you don't pick that up so much as a spectator.
Right.
But you guys definitely feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. I mean, Brandon, 18 minutes to make it back, like that's
not enough time.
It's not enough time,
Brandon.
And that is when it's not enough time. And that's when you feel the most alive. You know what I mean? It's like they're the moments in fishing, in tournament fishing, why you do it. And I've had some of them, Brandon, in my career too, where you just make it back or, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, man, that's when you feel alive.
Right. Am I gonna get win or am I gonna get dead?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I was like, I know I have a shot to win today. I'm an idiot. I kept fishing, trying to catch even more. Like I'm out there throwing my glide bait around, thinking I'm going to catch a 6-pound largemouth, and I come around out of the gut, and I'm like, "Oh, that was a absolutely terrible decision." And I just looked at my camera guy, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm going to owe you a chiropractor appointment. This is going to be bad."
Oh man!
Because I had to calculate. I'm like, if I have to do at least a minimum of 30 miles an hour average to get back. And I'm like, yep, 30 miles an hour in 5 and 6 footers.
Oh God! Not good.
How much time did you have to spare? When you
I actually had like 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
When I got back, but I mean, I pushed it hard going across, and then once I got around the point, it's easy. You just run the troughs.
Yeah.
But getting to Cumberland Head Point was sporty.
Man, that's a scary thing. Let me remind everybody watching, if you've got questions or comments for anything you hear in tonight's show, if you've got questions or comments for Brandon, please hit us up on the IM. Riz, I know you've got a boatload of questions coming in for Brandon. What do you got?
For sure. Tin Cup on the message board. Big shout out to Tin Cup.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tin Cup.
We're enjoying it already. He wants to know, Brandon, what was the water temperature that you had up north? And also, how did you come up with a game plan dealing with the low water?
Oh, two good ones.
I honestly don't even remember what the water temperature was. It's like mid 70s. It kind of ranged, I would say, from like 74 to 79, kind of where, depending on where you're at on the lake. And normally in the past, I've fished up towards like Roush's Point area, very well known part of the lake. And for me, where I normally like to fish up there, like the grass didn't feel right, the water being low. I don't know if that had something to do with it or all the hot weather they've had. But the fish I was catching over there just didn't seem healthy enough for me. And so in my mind with the low water and everything, and I don't know if I just felt more comfortable coming off of St. Lawrence, fishing deeper stuff. I thought, well, I'm going to just start going and looking deep. And I've started looking everywhere from 20 to 50, even looked out in 60 sometimes, like just trying to find something, something different where maybe these fish would go. And I started to dial it in. I got on like kind of just one big deep flat that I just followed these contours with my Mega 360, and it started clicking in my mind that I could literally look at my map, and by the third day of practice, I was hardly even making a cast on a place, or I would drop on them in the seat so no one saw me fishing while I was fishing. But I would literally just drive, idle over a spot, mark them, mark the key little areas on that spot, and then just keep driving. And so it was actually partly an issue. I had so much water that I could fish that I felt like I could catch a 3.5+ pound smallmouth, that I had to actually force myself to slow down and not try to fish all of it in one day.
Wow.
But it was just one of those practices where about halfway through the second day of practice, it started to click, and I was able to, no joke, look at my map, say, I'm going to go idle that spot. You'd shut down, idle over it, bloop, 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 couple smallmouth dots, and you'd mark a couple of boulders or the rocks, and then I tried to like mark where the fish were, and then I would mark little key pieces of structure that I thought those fish might move to if the conditions changed and things like that.
Wow.
And that really played, because I was able to fish different parts of that throughout the week.
How many boulders, rocks do you think you had marked, Brandon?
Probably 50 or 60.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's levels to this, kids.
Yeah. If you put that on eBay right now, you'd make a little bit of money, Brandon.
Yep. It's insane. I didn't realize how big there's some massive boulders out there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize they had them like that, but they're like almost, half the size of a bass boat or something.
Yeah, 16-foot boulders.
Slab Town. What else you got,
They had
Riz?
a couple shots of your 360 that were amazing on the show, that, where you were sitting and you could see those boulders, giant boulders all around you.
Yeah, and that probably wasn't even the greatest shot. Like, those were some shorter ones just kind of out on the end of that point, I think, when he shot them. But it was that was just such a key to be able to be efficient, right? Go from one to the next and know where your cast had to be.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Brandon,
it was crazy watching you giggle as you were catching those fish. That was pretty awesome. What do you got, Riz?
One of my favorite ways.
Brandon, Chase in Oklahoma wants to know, how do you feel about being on ESPN2 for back-to-back weekends in the Bassmaster Elite Series? Talk a little bit about, what you think that's going to do for the sport and ways that you can really utilize that to help grow it.
That's awesome.
That's as big as it gets right there in the sports world, like ESPN2, and not just like Bass has been on ESPN2 since the Elite started. Maybe even before that, I don't know exactly, but they were just the shows, right? They were the edited shows.
Yeah.
And they would be at weird times sometimes, or they would get like pushed out because there was a softball tournament or something.
Yeah, cool. The Black Widow.
To have it aired live and have millions of people. I mean, we had 2.8 million viewers.
Wow.
And then I know these last couple weeks, I'm pretty sure we're even better. And so that's incredible, right? That's good for everybody in this industry. And I know that because you get text messages and emails and things from people that do not follow fishing that are like, hey, saw you on ESPN, or like,
yeah,
Tiff gets messages. She was saying today that people she went to high school with that had don't know anything about fishing saw it on TV and Messenger. And that just brings another level of exposure, right? When it's live versus when it's just a recorded show, people just flipping through the channels and it's there.
Yeah.
And it's there for hours and hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good for the sponsors too, right? Because like an
100%.
edited show, some of that stuff will be cut out. I know a lot of times you'll say, give a sponsor a key plug, and it doesn't make the edited show.
Oh my goodness, how dare they?
Dude, but it's live, right?
Enjoy
it while it lasts, because when COVID ends, we're going to bump us for shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard?
I say enjoy it while it lasts, because when this COVID gets cured, they're going to bump us back out for trick pool shots.
I mean, maybe, but if I would think that if it continues to build and grow and they get good feedback, that they would want to keep it on.
Yeah.
I mean, or find a place for it to promote it.
Yeah.
And so who knows? I mean,
I hope it stays. I hope it stays. I'm enjoying it back on ESPN. I like it a lot. I hope it stays.
The fact that we had one event and they came back and said, hey, we want 3.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be Cayuga, St. Lawrence, and Champlain, and we just happened to have to postpone Cayuga.
Yeah.
So curious to see what the rest of the year.
Right. Why not try to keep it going and grow it as much as possible?
I hope it keeps going.
Put the foot on the floor.
I like it a lot. I hope it keeps going.
Yep.
Same.
Riz, what else you got? You got anything else coming?
Yeah. Brandon, when did you start tournament fishing? And talk a little bit about how you got your start and, got involved in the sport.
I was 8 years old when I started fishing my first tournaments. It was a family friend that took me out. So my mom was always into the outdoors and my family was. And so they'd always taken me fishing and stuff, but they didn't know anything about tournament fishing. Or, when we went fishing, we weren't targeting a specific species. We were just fishing. And then we had a family friend that he had an old skeeter, fish tournaments, and he took me out the first time on a bass boat, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the entire world, and learned that there was such a thing as bass tournaments and you could make a living catching bass and doing that. And instantly I was hooked. And so I started fishing just some local club tournaments and stuff with him, and then just continued to progress. When I was 16, I started fishing the Bass Federation, which is now called the Bass Nation, and just worked my way up through that. Spent 7 years fishing in that until I won the national championship, qualified for my first classic in the elites, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome. Now,
rad.
It is rad. Brandon, I've got the same thing I'm doing with Vegas right now. Vegas actually started last year. He was 8. He's 9 this year. Sometimes you get so wrapped into it, you forget about things you should be doing, right? Because I'm his dad, and I'm hardcore. You have any advice for me with him? Because seriously, I want to hear it from you because
he's trying not to create a Chaz Michaels.
I mean, he's really, really, really good.
Macaulay Culkin.
But at the same time, I don't want to press him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is letting him evolve into like the type of angler that he's going to be.
Right.
Because he may have a different style of fishing than what you do. Like he may be the 3-4 rods on the deck type of guy, not 30 or 40 strapped down, has to, double up your rod buckles to get him to strap down like you do.
Yeah.
So he might have to that would be my biggest thing is like just letting him evolve into whatever type of angler he's going to be. Obviously he's already being successful. So the biggest thing is just keeping him humble on that, I guess.
It's like the Iaconellis are like the Mannings of fishing. Like there's Eli, there was Archie Manning, and then and then he bred and made the greatest of all time, Peyton. You know what I mean, dude? Yeah.
The spawn of Archie.
I think the biggest thing would be like making sure that he earns his way.
Yeah.
Like not just because he's your son and you've had an incredible amount of success, but like truly earning it, and that's for him. Yeah. Because he'll appreciate it much more in the long run. Yeah. And it'll pay dividends a lot more.
Yeah, I think you're right. And like last year I watched him, his championship event last year on Merrill Creek. He zeroed, and it was the hardest thing to watch. It was gut wrenching to watch him work to the very end and not catch a keeper to weigh. But after it was all said and done, and I got back, and I was sad for him. And he wasn't really. He's got a different attitude. But I got back and talked to Becky about it. She was like, "It's the best thing that could happen." Because it's the reality of fishing. And he's got to learn that's going to happen.
Yeah, learn how to deal with disappointment.
Yeah, a lot of disappointment in this sport.
Sure. Brandon, I got a question. Yeah. Is this the first time you've ever been asked for parental advice?
Probably. Okay. Considering the fact that I don't have any kids.
No, but Mike wants to know if you did, how you raise them.
I mean, you probably got a Chihuahua you did a good job with, right?
I got a blackmouth cur. All right. She's made it to like 5 years old. She's doing pretty good.
I'm sure you did a good job with the goldfish in Coeur d'Alene, right?
Yeah, they become bass food. All the goldfish I have.
Good move.
Bass.
Mike attempted to take down Jim Miller from the UFC last week.
That didn't work.
Oh, goodness.
I thought
how well did that work?
I thought you'd be a great person to give him some takedown advice.
Yeah, not very good. You would have did a lot better, Brandon.
I think you could snatch him, Brandon.
I was a scrub.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd even want to try.
You're a state champion, dude.
Yeah, I know. But he's on a different level.
New Jersey.
I got to mention this real quick. We got a really good friend of all of ours, a friend of the show, Mark Zona, a.k.a. Z, just texted me. And this was for the advice for getting your sons involved in fishing. And he said, don't go all Bobby Knight on them like I do to this day with Hunter and Jacob, his sons, when they do bad. You're right. That's a hard thing. It's a hard thing.
You lose sleep over that.
Yeah,
shit,
you
dude.
do lose sleep over it. And that, I mean, we're from Jersey. Like, the instinct is to yell and scream and curse. But it's tough, man.
Oh, dude, I cursed my head off when Mullins lost those fish.
Yeah.
And you didn't say it, but he's just like, no. And I was putting myself in that position. I'm like, that would not have been the word I used. I could never be on that boat with a camera on me.
You would have slurred a higher power.
Yeah. Oh, I would have. I'd have offered to fight.
Well, this is one of the other great things with COVID is now we're all wearing these buffs, and you could also use them as curse hiders.
Gag balls.
Yeah, gag balls. Your frustration. You just hide it. It's good stuff. Brandon, I need to know, and excuse me for being ignorant, because I was with Vegas today in this tournament. Give me a rundown of the bait that you fished today, the exact bait and all that, because I didn't get to see it go down today. What was the deal?
Pretty much everything I caught this week was on a X Zone finesse slammer. and I rotated through colors. Like really, the first 2 days I caught them the best on a color called Big Limit. It kind of has a purple, pinkish, like pearlescent hue on the bottom, and then has kind of that like Houdini type color on top.
Yeah.
So imitates kind of a little bit of everything. And then really the last 2 days, day 2 or day 3 and day 4 today, I caught pretty much every single fish on green pumpkin and blue fleck. And there was like a noticeable difference when I would drop it on them, how quickly they would eat it. You know, I could eventually get them to eat both, but it definitely seemed like, depending on the day, they would eat one better than the other.
Wow.
And I'm usually not like a big color guy.
Yeah.
You know, but I think those two were a big enough difference, right? You know, the green pumpkin's a lot darker of a hue versus kind of the lighter Big Limit color.
What were you imitating? What are these fish actually eating, you think, down there?
They're eating everything. I had a lot of them spit up like actually big perch, like 5-6 inch perch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, they're good sized perch. And then a lot of them were spitting up those little alewives too. They look like little mirrors everywhere. But it was crazy. Like I didn't have a camera. I know Carl drove around and checked some stuff with a camera during practice.
Yeah.
And he said it was like an aquarium down there. Like there's drum. I caught more sunfish the size of like the palm of my hand size this week than I've ever caught in my entire life.
In that same depth zone.
Out there drop shotting, like 20 to 40 foot, like around those boulders. Like and you would catch, you know, smallmouth this big, and then your next drop you'd catch a 4-pounder.
Wow.
And so, and there were, I caught perch, white bass, sunfish, smallmouth, largemouth, walleye, drum. What else? I caught pike. I dropped on 2 pike today. I mean, just the amount of fish on those places was insane.
Now,
but it had to do with the bait a lot.
Yeah. Now with the technology, you know, you guys are using these depth finders, the Humminbird stuff, so awesome. Did you get to see Champ at all in the Inland Sea this week?
I never did see Champ.
No Champ.
I think he was out there a little past my depth zone. He was out there a little past me. Yeah, he was a little further out off the break.
Brandon, you know, when are you getting on the road to leave?
I don't know.
So, dude, listen. There's a pizza parlor downtown in Plattsburgh. Man, like if you're coming from, like, where are you staying at? Like, where are you staying at now?
Well, I'm not going to tell you on live.
All the stalkers are going to come in tonight.
So if you're coming down from like the Port Roach, however you pronounce that, if you're coming down from Port Roach, like as you enter the town, on the right side, there's an old pizza parlor from New York, old New York Italians that retired from New York. It's the best pizza on planet Earth, in upstate New York.
Really?
Upstate?
It's good info.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's across from the furniture store and the painting gallery. It's right there. It's like a paint store where they paint.
Yeah, Kyle that does all my filming, he says he ran by it this week.
Wow.
So
amazing. There you go. That's a good tip,
Kyle,
Dave.
get out there and get some pizza.
Get some pizza.
Yeah. Are you going to go back out on the lake tomorrow and continue to jack them?
No, I'm probably going to sleep in. I haven't slept past like 5 o'clock in 2 weeks, so I could use like a good 7 o'clock day.
That's awesome.
7 o'clock day would be good. Brandon, I want to switch it up here real quick and put you on the spot and ask you for a prediction. With everything that's gone on this year, of course, with COVID, it's been a tough year in the industry. It's been a tough year for the tournament circuits. The different organizations handle it differently, of course. And I just want to know, how many MLF anglers do you think will attempt to come back to bass next year? You think you're going to have another group that comes over or attempts to come back?
I think it depends on what next year looks like.
Right.
I think it depends on what the format looks like, our contract's still good or not good. Like,
right.
I think the decisions that are made between now and the end of this fall of what 2021 looks like as far as formats and like how many tournaments there's going to be, just all the things that go into tournament fishing, what that format looks like will determine how many, if any, there will be.
Right.
I mean, and it's not like that number could be anywhere from 40 to 0. I mean, it just, or it could be even more than that. It just depends on the decisions they make of how to run it, I think.
Right. Do you think that number will be bigger the following year when technically from a legal standpoint the 3-year contract ends? Do you think there'll be a bigger exodus?
I don't know. I honestly think like all of that, the amount of guys that will leave or stay or go one way or the other will literally just determine on the decision processes that are made, right? Like, do the anglers feel like decisions are being made in their best interest or not?
Right.
And does it fit what they want to do as an angler?
Right.
And then, and then those guys will each have to make their own personal decisions based on that. I mean, you'll just have a mixture, would be my guess.
Right.
You have some guys fishing the PFL, the FLW, MLF things, super tournaments, and some guys trying to fish the elites and opens, and just be mixed.
Too many acronyms in this sport. PFL, MLF, MILF, Bass, PUSSY.
I miss the days of just Bass and FLW.
I know.
Why?
Simple.
Well, there's that fine line between having a lot of circuits to let a lot of people, try to enter the sport professionally, and it becomes too much.
Watered down.
Fraud,
fugazi.
Spread out,
I mean, it became like the Atco Raceway. People are bringing Pintos out there with slicks.
Right. Right. Well, it depends what the Pinto
Getting
had
like
under
a
the hood.
79-second, dash.
Mom's Datsun.
Yeah.
Sign my little Pinto. Sign my little Pinto. All right, Brandon. But we're gonna let you go here in a second. Before we let you go, though, you are in the thick of it for AOY. Is that something that's going to be on your mind? There's been not that many dudes walking the face of the earth that have multiple AOYs. Is it something you're thinking about already, or are you just going to go out and fishing? Or,
I mean, it's on my mind, but I do my best to not let that alter my decision-making process on the water.
Yeah.
Or during practice, because I feel like the instant that you start worrying about that and fishing safe to try to cash checks, you will get burned.
Right.
And you will miss checks. You'll miss more checks trying to cash checks and fish for checks than you will actually cash. And I've always felt that way. I don't look at the AOY points. I mean, obviously, I can have a general idea.
Yeah.
Had 3 good tournaments and 1 bad one, so I know it's okay. But I never, like, even all the way up to when I won AOY, I knew that I was leading, but I had no idea what the point split was. I mean, as far as I was concerned, it was a 1-point lead.
Yeah.
And that keeps that decision-making process in the right place where I'm trying to literally catch as much weight as I can every single day.
Yeah.
This is just trying to cut a check. And that's because if you're trying to cut checks, you don't win blue trophies.
No.
That's just all. That's the only way there is to say it. And I mean, if you want to talk financials, you can cut a check in every single event and win 80 grand, or you can win one and win 100 grand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the math is pretty easy on it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Riz, we got anything else for Brandon? We're going to let Brandon go and enjoy his victory. What else you got?
While Riz is chewing real quick, Brandon, when you're going back home again, down 87 South, get off exit 21 at Lake George and hit Adirondack Brewing. There's not a beer you'll be disappointed with, or a burger.
Brewing.
Adirondack Brewing. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I want to go there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going home till Thanksgiving, but that might be on my route.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Road
That's
warrior.
Yeah.
Are you really not going home till Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Holy hell. That's crazy.
55 hours to drive from here to my house.
55?
That's great.
Yeah. 55 hours, and it's 4 turns.
I mean, let's be real.
Wow.
You got enough bank, dude. You
55
could move
hours.
to Alabama by now. You know what I mean? You don't have to
I
be out
don't
there.
want to.
I hear that.
Ooh, why not?
They shoot people's trucks.
They
I
do
just
shoot
don't
people's trucks.
like.
They be shooting.
I mean,
Brandon,
I
why
just
don't you
don't
move to
wanna be that-
Gunnersville? I heard Boyd's got some places for sale there.
Yeah, probably does. I just don't want to be that immersed into the fishing world.
I love it.
Like, I like to go home and get away from everybody.
I hear that.
Right.
Good for you.
And Alter Bridge didn't make a song called Alabama, but they did make a song called Coeur d'Alene.
That's true.
Damn.
That's true.
I didn't know.
How much stuff how much knowledge did you purge out of your brain to put up all these? You just keep spitting these things out tonight. These random things about. It's impressive.
It's a lot of time in a UPS truck.
It's impressive. I'm
It is,
impressed,
because
dude.
sometimes I'll get to a place and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. I can see I'm like washing somebody over. I watch their face just change. Oh, my God. I do.
Random useless information.
That's
I
awesome.
do. I just drown them.
Riz, what do you got?
All right, last question from the message board. It actually comes from Dave's Overgrown Flower Garden.
Wow. Oh, they're fighting words.
Dave's Overgrown Flower Garden wants to know, at what point did you run into conflict with your cameraman on the way back? Did he ask you to slow down or seek shelter at any point in the ride in?
No, I was so thankful. I had Jake. I would probably butcher his last name.
Jake
Latin
from State Farm?
No, definitely
Snake
not
Roberts?
Jake. Jake from State Farm would have probably just had some insurance lawsuit on me today. But Jake, I've had him in the boat before, but he is all about it. Like, he's just as pumped up as I am when I was catching him.
Oh, hell yeah.
I just looked at, when I looked at him, he's like, just go. He's like, it's part of it. Just
Yeah,
go,
they're not
get
the
it done.
litigation types, those guys. They're warriors.
You know, those guys are all about it.
Yeah.
But man, I did feel bad because he didn't have a console and they're
Right.
hitting his side. Like,
Shout out to those camera guys, by the way, man.
those guys are tough.
Dude, they really, I've been in the boat with you, Mike, before, and I literally have to, I got to, brace myself, hand under the nuts. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't
Mike
imagine,
don't care.
having to go through that with
Yeah.
camera gear and everything else. It's
Mike could get
Shout
make
out
a
to
wish
them.
kid with a halo, and he's going to punch it on it and go full red line.
That's not
Oh,
true.
right.
I wouldn't do that.
If it was a tournament,
If it was a tournament, I'd probably do it. Maybe.
Yeah, he better have a helmet halo because you're going to.
oh my God.
Jesus. It's
Send
crazy.
her
Off
up
the
a
rails.
tree.
Off the rails. Shout out to all the camera guys. They do go through a lot of shit. It's pretty.
Amazing.
It's pretty unbelievable.
One more thing.
Yeah, what
one
do you
more
got?
thing on the message board. Brian's smoking hot wife wants to know
hey, all right.
how much longer is it until elk season, and are you looking forward to it?
Oh, that's a good. one.
Oh, that's a great question, but my elk season is pretty much going to be non-existent this year.
Because of the
Thanks,
tournament
dude.
schedule.
Yeah, thanks to this COVID. So
Yeah.
I'm fishing both Open Series and the Elites. So later this fall, I have 7 weeks straight.
Nice.
Wow.
Right on.
God dang.
I
dude.
love
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah.
That's bad to the bone, Brandon.
Hell
You've
yeah.
won, you've won. You got a
7.
freaking fat bank account, and you're still just grinding, going
You
hard.
love it.
Like, Brandon,
Yeah.
You
you
love
ever-
it. You're
let me ask-
passionate about it, man.
I'm trying to picture what I'm looking at here, Brandon. Your camper that you're in, is it like a Meet the Fockers kind of camper that you drive, or are you dragging it behind the fifth wheel? Like, what do you got?
Meet the
Come on.
Is it- I mean, I don't know what the difference is called. I just know
It's
what
not
I see.
very clean right now. Look, here's the crew.
Cribs.
If I can tilt it.
What up, crew?
What up?
Oh,
Got
with the trophy. Look at that.
Kyle and Tiff and the
Tiff,
trophy.
what's up?
Can I see Kyle's mustache? Go back.
What?
Can I see Kyle's mustache?
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
beauty.
Oh, that's
That's
legit.
gorgeous.
Wow. The French goatee.
I love it.
Pretty nice stuff.
A wee wee.
Yeah. And then we've got like our little this is like our media
Oh,
little
wow.
Looks like a
kit thing. So
snap-on
we got
tool.
like all our camera
That's
gear
better
and
than the
all
entire
everything
Ike
in
Live
there.
studio right there.
It is.
Yeah. And then let's
Said,
see.
yeah.
We've got the kitchen,
Nice.
Man, that's
kitchen
sweet.
style.
All right, this is not camping. This is glamping.
This is where Ike, you got your camper's the same size.
I
So come on. That's where Kyle sleeps.
God damn, you put him in the attic.
And
Jesus Christ, that thing
Hey,
looks like
this-
it's palatial. You put him in a,
this is
you put him
honestly
in a
why I
crawl space.
started camping. right here. This is all elk meat.
Nice.
Right on.
Nice.
No, that's why I started camping, is because I wanted to be able to pack
Air sealed.
all the meat.
My camper would be all Chesapeake Bay catfish.
Got a bathroom and a bedroom.
Look at that.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
being
it's not-
she can't hear me.
it's
Can
not
you at least
like-
say- she can make the bed for crying out loud. Like,
No, I'm sure the bed was made on it and messed it all up.
got it.
That's typically what
It's
happens.
day 4. It was not made.
Yeah.
You could have turned the volume down for me.
You know what though? That I got to tell you though, for people watching right now and are watching this amazing camper, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
This is the way to travel. And
Oh,
Brandon, I
100%.
know you know, but dude, when you're doing it full time like these guys do, Brandon and Tiffany, on the road, 11 months out of the year, dude, how nice is it, Brandon, to be in your own house as you're on the road? Is that it's the best, right?
It is literally it makes life on the road not life on the road.
Yeah.
Like it takes the grind part out of it. You're not living in a suitcase. You have your own things. You got your own bed. So from a competitive standpoint, I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because you have consistency. You can build routine.
Yeah.
It honestly just makes such a huge difference. Like, even if we didn't have this, I would still travel. Like, if Tiff quit traveling and wanted to stay home, I would travel in a cab over camper, a Lance or something like that. Like, I would never go back to the hotel, rental house type stuff, because it's just.
What about the Tundra Suites?
If I had to, I mean, I slept in the Tundra Suites. I don't think I did last year. 2 years ago, 2018, I did during practice at the St. Lawrence River.
What about the?
And I was going to this year too, but
Would you do the Rick Clunn cowhide tent with magic mushrooms every night?
Every night?
probably
Sleeping
not.
naked?
Oh, maybe one.
Probably not. I don't need to become one with the earth.
Don't knock it.
But I do appreciate his approach.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got to get in tune. Pete, before we let Brandon go, did you have anything, Pete, for Brandon from?
I got it. I'm going to ask this question because we talked about fishing, but I got to ask this question because this morning with the Bass U crew, we were texting and I'm like, the guy that dedicates this day to largemouth wins this tournament.
Yeah.
You got clouds, wind, rain, and historically the smallmouth on there and like other places up in that part of the country, when you get that cloudy, rainy weather, man, those big smallmouth become very, very difficult to catch. So you wind up with like 17 pounds, which doesn't win you the day. And nobody went for largemouth, and you did a little bit. You did a little bit in the morning. I saw you, but those smallmouth bit right through the clouds and the rain as if it was a sunny day.
Yeah, and I honestly, all week, I was hoping for that weather. Mostly the wind, the cloud cover, not as much. But my original plan today was to go smallmouth fishing, catch 17 or 18 pounds, and then go throw a glide bait for the last 2 or 3 hours. Because I thought the sun was going to come out, the wind was going to be there, and I could go throw it, and I was going to get 2 to 3 bites, and they were going to be the difference makers. And then this morning it started blowing, it got rainy, and I was still catching smallmouth, and then it like slicked off, and it was just kind of cloudy and slick. I was like, I'm not going to be able to go throw a swim bait, and I really don't have any other way that I feel like I can go largemouth fishing, because I just didn't dedicate that much time to it.
Yeah.
So I just mixed it in a little bit here and there, and then I decided I'll just keep smallmouth fishing, and because I hadn't got to that point like around 12 o'clock when I got on the really big school of them. I didn't feel like I was quite to that point where I was comfortable to go largemouth fishing. And then I hit that school and I was like, no, largemouth deal's out.
Yeah.
We're just going to stick with smallmouth. Like,
now,
I'm catching.
Mike, Pete, and Brandon, obviously you guys are the best at this. How common is that up in Lake Champlain to not have a largemouth plan? and rely on smallmouth.
Yeah,
dude.
that's interesting. I like to have both. It's interesting to hear
How
it.
common, I'm saying, from at your level.
Yeah, I mean, I would have fished it differently, and I wouldn't have won. You know, I'd like to have 50-50. I try to split
because
my
they always
time.
say you can't rely on smallmouth. Yet he did. I'm not second guessing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it throws that right out, right?
Yeah, Brandon, did you weigh a largemouth at all in 4 days?
I did, unfortunately, and it bothers me. Really, honestly, bothers me because I think I would have had enough weight without the largemouth to win and done it all on smallmouth. But I did. Yesterday I weighed 2 largemouth. I was smallmouth fishing a place, fishing out on the end of a pipe, and I had some big largemouth follow my swim bait up in the grass. And for whatever reason, I was pulling up to the end of that pipe, and I'm like, I'm going to throw my Nico rig out there because then at least I got a chance at catching a largemouth or a smallmouth. If I throw my finesse slammer out there, like, my odds of catching a largemouth just aren't as good. They will bite it, but generally they like that Nico rig, a little bit bigger package. So I throw a muscleback fat finesse worm out there, and it hits the bottom of my line, starts swimming off, and I jack it, and it's like a 4 1/4 largemouth.
Dang.
Or 4 pounder. I'm like, holy cow. That was somewhat random, not completely. But then with 10 minutes left yesterday, I'm going through the gut. I'm like, there's a nice little shade pocket right there from that tree. I pick up my glide bait, throw it out there, first cast, catch one that's like almost 4 pounds. And I put it on my balance beam, and it was like dead nuts even with the smallmouth. And I put the largemouth in there just because I thought it was so cool that I caught it on the glide bait.
Token largemouth
back
on the glide bait.
Throw people off.
That's great.
But like I had two smallmouth that were pretty much almost clones of those 2 largemouth. They were just barely on the balance beam, a little bit smaller. So I had 2 largemouth.
I gotta say, on those weights, Mike and all you guys, the smallmouth weights were huge.
Yeah.
There were 17 to up to 22 pounds of smallies weighed in every single day.
Yeah.
In this tournament, and the gobies aren't there. I don't know what's changed, but the smallmouth, man, they got like a 1/4 pound bigger across the board. For all the tournament guys. It was pretty amazing.
It was honestly, like, I don't even like saying this because it shouldn't be this way, but it was honestly almost easy to go catch 17 pounds.
Wow.
Like if you were on the right stuff, you couldn't just go do it anywhere. But like once I figured out what I wanted to look for and how those fish were positioning, it was like if you ran enough of those places, you were gonna catch 17.
Yeah.
And I think that having that confidence in that helped a lot this week because I was never worried about like, oh man, am I gonna cut a check? Like that never crossed my mind. I'm like, if I just keep doing this, like I'm gonna catch enough to cut a check. It's just, am I going to be able to have the difference between 5 3.5 pounders and 5 4 pounders?
Yeah.
Or like that half pound difference on Champlain is a big gap.
Yeah.
It also helps when the enemy right behind you is dropping Gogias on a crankbait left and right too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He missed some tanks in that.
I did hear about that. I haven't got to see any of the footage, but
it's painful.
It's I mean, that's how tournament fishing is. When it's your time, you're going to win. When it's not, you don't.
You made the right call, and Seth, who I think was the biggest threat because he had a strong largemouth pattern going where he caught a 6.6 this week, and he like you, he kept upgrading with smallmouth. He kept like catching a big one, catching another big one, and it kept him dialed and staying with the smallmouth. And I don't know how you make that decision to abandon him. You had to make that call that he made. But yeah, there was not a single person in the field that went for largemouth, and
I don't even know if one got weighed in today.
Crazy.
That is nuts.
Crazy.
Wow.
What the hell happened to Missisquoi Bay this tournament?
Yeah, that's a great question. Nobody made the cut from that area.
Why?
I don't know.
They weren't there.
Because Missisquoi Bay is phenomenal when the water's low.
Yep.
I'm not sure. And I mean, I know Seth fishes in there or has in the past. So I would think that, he would have figured something out. And
I'm
not sure.
Did they address it, Brandon, at the meeting? Because in order to get there when the water's low, you got to go into Canada, like for a moment.
Well, we had to idle. Yeah, we couldn't cross into Canada. So to get over into Goose Bay, you had to idle that flat because the water was low and it was too close to the shore, so it made it no wake, and you had to idle that flat to get across.
I don't even know if you could get across. I guess they said, but man, I've seen it where it's so low that you can't, man. You have to go into Canada because that sandbar comes out too far. You can't get over it.
Huh? Yeah, and that could have been the deal. Did you guys know John Cox ran all the way to Ticonderoga the first day?
Yeah, I heard that.
When he told me that, I was like, dude, you've got balls, John. I was like, I'm impressed. Even though you only caught I don't remember what he had, 13 or 14. He was not very happy, but I was like, the fact that you ran all the way down there and it took you an hour and 40 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I ran all the way down there to fish 50 yards. And then when I fished through it, didn't have a bite, realized probably wasn't the right idea.
Oh my God.
Man, dude.
Yeah, he's in a Crestliner.
Only he could pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Crestliner?
He was
Oh
back.
my God, he ran tie in a Crestliner?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had a camera boat with him. He was back at 11 or 12 o'clock fishing back up north. So I think he fished for 45 minutes and just got out of there and started heading back.
That's crazy.
Dang.
One last question for the message board, Brandon. Dave's Victory Garden wants to know if this tournament will be released on your YouTube channel.
Yes. Yeah. Both of them last week and this week. Well, the entire year will be. Yeah, it'll be out there.
And where can they find you? What's your YouTube channel? What's your social stuff? How can people watch this stuff?
Yeah, YouTube is BMP Fishing, so you can find it on there. Got all the events on there, and then just all my social handles are just Brandon Palaniuk. But if you go to my website bmpfishing.com, you can pretty much find everything off there.
You got a lot of coverage on today, but you didn't get a tremendous amount in the previous 3 days. So did you have any meltdowns or anything crazy that happened in the first couple days that we're going to see on your channel?
I mean, like that swim bait fish, I didn't have a camera day 1 or day 3. So those will be pretty intense. I caught 18 pounds the first day in the first hour, on my first spot.
Wow.
I mean, I'll say it for you, Brandon. They're still smiting you for the initial defection you did. You're almost paid up.
Oh, yeah. Still working on it.
I don't know if that's true or not. Brandon, congrats, man. Great win. So happy for you, man. And rooting for you for AOY. I'd like to see you take a second AOY this year. Can't wait to watch the rest of the season, and I will be watching since MLF canceled all their tournaments. And I got nothing else left to do.
You got no choice.
You're gonna be coach dad.
I'm gonna be coach dad and watch Brandon. Those are 2 things I'm gonna do the rest of the year. Since MLF canceled all our tournaments.
Stop screaming.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Brandon, thanks for coming on tonight on such short notice, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good job, champ.
Yeah, there you go. Brandon Palaniuk, everybody.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah,
great job, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Champ.
See you guys.
Brian, you don't like when I scream into the mic?
No, there's no reason.
No, because it's funny.
No.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, it's painful.
No, it's not. It's funny. That's why I did it.
I get it.
I know. It's just funny.
All right. Whatever. It's your show. You do what you want.
But I'll do what I want. Listen to me. Great interview right there, Brandon. That was a great call. Brian Carpenter, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Rich
doing that.
actually helped me out.
Rich, thanks for doing that.
He said, you got it.
That was a great call.
You got to get harass Tiffany. Well, I don't want to give up the secrets because all the others.
Don't give that away to the other podcast.
Yeah, all the other 80 Me Too podcast out
whatever.
there.
Jersey wearing.
Don't give them any advantages.
But yeah, thank you, Brandon.
It was great to hear from Brandon. That was an awesome interview. If you're watching, listen, we got another segment coming up, and this is going to be a good one too. The Brandon one was kind of PG. Pete, would you call that one PG? We learned a little bit. We heard some technique. It was very PG rated. But the next one, Dave, we're digging some dirt right here. Brian the Carpenter, we got Ryan Salzman.
We got Ryan Salzman on.
Salzman.
Yeah, let me take this because you're just going to butcher it over there.
I just need to know how to say his name right.
Oh,
We'll
my
ask him
God.
when he comes on.
Doesn't matter. Still screw it up.
Whatever.
So Ryan Salzman, he's a guide on Gunnersville in that area.
Yeah.
And he's had a little bit of controversy. He fishes the FLW Tour.
Right.
I think he's fished 60 events. He fished the 2019 Forestwood Cup.
Yeah.
Finished 8th. So the guy fishes.
He comes with accolade.
Yeah.
He fishes. He catches them. He guides down there. But he's also got some people that don't care for him, I guess.
Right.
He's had his truck keyed. He's had some incidents. And recently he had his truck all shat up. So,
wow.
I don't know. We're going to talk to Ryan. He's an interesting character.
All right. Well,
we interviewed him at the Classic.
He's also a military vet.
Military vet.
Yeah.
He's a captain in the guard.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And this and that and the third.
Looking forward to hearing from Ryan.
Lord designer.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, if you're hanging in there with us, just give us a second. We're going to take a little break. Brian the Carpenter, when we come back, we're going to talk to Ryan.
Right. We're going to drink some more whiskey.
We're going to drink some more whiskey.
Like and share it on Facebook, guys.
Yes.
Like and share this feed.
Yep. We have an MTB box to unbox. And then what else we got? We're going to be giving away some prizes, right?
Yes.
There you go. All right. Hang in there with us when we come back. More Ike Live.
4.5-inch drop shot worm.
Salmon.
Bama bug.
Salmon.
Finesse jig, PB&J. Give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
There's a special place in our hearts for the tools of the trade. They're what we prep for a good day on the water. They're what we clean after a good day in the field. Flambeau's patented Z-Rust technology protects the gear of today from rust and corrosion. Z-Rust, for the performance of tomorrow. Preserve, perform, repeat.
You work hard to catch your fish. TH Marine has 2 products to ensure your fish survive. The Oxygenator injects 100% pure oxygen into your live well. That increases fish survival by 35%. For the perfect combo, add G-Juice live well treatment. It calms fish, stops bleeding, removes ammonia, and replaces slime coat. Get an Oxygenator and G-Juice and keep your fish alive.
Brazilian.
Ah, okay.
On the 15th. Yeah.
On the 15th of what?
15th of August.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like literally they let him know.
God, he's got to make weight in 2 weeks.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
2 weeks?
I'm like, is that normal?
Was that an injury replacement?
Don't know.
Wow.
They contacted through email, which is crazy too. You know.
He always says yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Jim Miller's ever turned down a fight.
Nah, it's crazy.
That's why the promoter named him Jim fucking Miller.
There you go.
Because
Jim fucking Miller.
That's his name,
That's
Jim
right.
fucking Miller.
Yeah, when you got to ask his middle name.
Sean Shelby. I think Sean
Yeah.
nicknamed him that.
Well, you get that. You're Diesel.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Ike Live. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. Out here hanging, drinking beers, of course, enjoying some of the brand new Tin Cup whiskey, brand new sponsor of the show.
Here, here.
When I got back from the Classic, Johnny
whiskey.
Walker Red was my whiskey.
Yeah.
And I replaced it. Yeah, before I knew these guys were coming on, I had some down there.
Tin Cup's good.
Oh, it's delicious, man.
Tin Cup's good. Brandon Palaniuk was awesome. Congrats to him, man. A great guy. Great win. Want to remind everybody, if you're watching over on Facebook, Brian the Carpenter, we want them to, all you have to do is like and share the feed. If you're watching on Facebook right now, like and share the feed. You will be entered into a contest to win this Ike Live gift bag. It's loaded with Ike Live sponsors, weighs about 20 pounds. All kinds of stuff in there, from Liquid Mayhem to Mr. Tackle Box.
That's easier than making people work for it like we used to do. We used to make them stand on the side like little monkeys with the grinder box.
Yeah, we'll mix it up, though. We'll mix it up. We'll keep mixing it up.
The shine box.
Yeah, we'll keep mixing it up. I'm excited here. We've got a Ryan Salzman joining us.
Yes.
Very, very excited.
Like Pam, but calm.
Right.
Saltzman. How hard is that?
That's what I'm saying. This isn't about knowing the name. It's just Mike just wants to butcher my
get out of here. I don't butcher it. My name's been butchered my whole life. Same
here.
I don't have any regret about it. It's okay.
All
I
right,
tried
Pete
my
Klusick
best.
still adds an E to my name for
That's
no
right.
reason. He does it on purpose.
Pete calls me
No,
Pete.
Pete, come on, get the names right,
Let's
Pete.
get Captain Salzman on.
All right.
He's here.
All right.
Salzman.
Okay. All right, we've got him joining us right now via Skype. Very, very excited to have him on Ike Live. And I want to find out, I want to dig through all this mess and find out what's going on.
All this ruckus.
Here we go. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
Ryan.
Man, I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Good. Good to hear from you. Okay, first things first. Have you had a Boyd Duckett sighting today?
I have not had a Boyd Duckett sighting today. I am in Wisconsin. So.
Ah, okay.
How about a Tom Mansour sighting? Did you see that old son of a gun?
No, he's probably hiding. He's probably back out on lacrosse today just catching them still.
He may be asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep. Is
he 70?
71.
71.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Out there swim jigging the river, dude.
That's crazy.
He still catches them.
Yeah.
His Facebook posts are amazing. Everything's all caps. Shit's locked out, right?
You can see caps easier.
I don't know, but it's just it's all caps. Feels
You
like
don't
he's
got to do
screaming.
no punctuation. Just
Nothing.
cap, lock that bitch out.
Just one run-on sentence of all capitals.
All right, Ryan, besides the fishing.
Shout out to Tom Mansour.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Mansour. Besides the fishing in Wisconsin, give me two other amazing things that you've experienced in Wisconsin while you were there.
Two other amazing things would be just the wildlife. There's you just feel like you're in another planet, kind of like sandhill cranes everywhere, turkeys, deer. You're catching frogs on frogs. Mike, I don't know if you've ever been here and you throw your frog up on the bank, you start twitching it, and these giant frogs come out chasing your bait. So that would probably be number two.
Yeah,
they're like a pound and a half. They're huge.
They're good eating.
Yeah. Oh,
Crazy.
yeah. My buddy George Capitan gigs them down in Florida, and I called him. He said, I need to come thin the herd.
Yeah.
You couldn't damage that number up there. There's, the great thing about that system, and if you're watching or listening right now and you haven't fished up there, Dave.
I did once, bro.
It's amazing.
I fished
Well,
once.
you know
Yeah,
that.
I was up
You
there
get in
once.
those backwaters, and it is miles of duckweed. Pete, it is duckweed as far as you can fucking see. It's unbelievable. It's like frogging paradise there, And you don't want to you get so caught up in it sometimes, you don't want to do anything else, I remember the last time I was there, it's just, you feel like you have to be throwing a frog, but there's other ways to catch them. And obviously we saw that this week with Tom winning on a swim jig. But how was the tournament? How did you? I've got so much going on. I didn't follow it. How did you make out? How did you fish? How did you finish?
Mike, I've had just a tough year, and it was kind of par for the course for me. I found one area. Only thing I know to call it is Running Slough. That's what was on my Lawrence.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the area backwater just below Lacrosse. And I spent my whole practice in there, and it takes long enough to learn how to run into a backwater area. And I took my skeg off my lower unit, and I learned that area good enough to get in and out. And I had two main areas. And Timmy Horton, who finished had a great finish, was fishing near me, and Chad Warren was also fishing. And we were just kind of rotating areas, and we didn't know it till the second day. Yeah. And on day one, I kind of shot myself in the foot. But I don't, on a tournament like this, and it's just tournament fishing, and you kind of mentioned it with Palaniuk, if it's not meant to happen, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
And I was literally getting 5 or 6 keeper bites on a frog a day, and day one, they just happened to weigh 8 pounds.
Yeah.
So, and day 2, they weighed 11.
Yeah.
And that's just how I finished. So,
yeah. That's all you can do. You got to, you go into it, you work hard, and you do the best you can do. And when it happens, it happens. You mentioned Timmy Horton, and I do want to bring this up real quick, just because we've mentioned it before, and I'd love to get your opinion on it. We've heard from FLW guys who, when the MLF guys, when that all changed and they decided to come over, we've heard from FLW guys that said, man, this is awesome. We want to compete against the best guys. This is the best thing since sliced bread. Then we heard from other FLW guys that said, this shit is bullshit. Keep them guys out of here. They're impeding on my chance to make a living. This is my circuit. Where do you fall on that?
Oh, well, the beauty of this is I fell on both sides of what you just said.
Okay.
Because I was the guy fighting for a chance to make the championship. At this point, it's statistically impossible. And so I had Chickamauga. They announced that. I'm a Tennessee River guy. I was really excited. Ledge fishing is my thing. It's kind of how I made my career. And I get up there, I put the work in. I did like a week of pre-practice. I found every school that I could find on that lake. And I found some sneaky stuff. But then you got Jordan Lee, you got Matt Lee, you got Timmy Horton, you got every ledgehammer, Michael Neal. Yeah. And then once you throw all those dudes in it, guess what? I had Snickle Fritz, and I just put in 9 days of graphing for shit.
What's that?
And that's a Pineapple Express quote for you.
Sorry.
But anyway, so yeah, I've just learned, this is my sophomore slump, I guess. I've learned so much on how to compete in large events.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a ledge guy on the Tennessee River doesn't mean I should compete like that on days 1 and 2 until the herd gets thinned.
Right.
Ryan, can you claim I'm just learning status with 113,000 career earnings in dollars? Can you claim that?
This year.
Can you be the innocent fawn wandering aimlessly through the forest with that kind of money?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I say no. I revoke your I don't know what I'm doing card with 113,000.
But Mike, I don't know. I'm at a point in my career I have felt like that this year. I'm like, do I know what I'm doing still?
I would say 113 says yes.
Well, I don't know.
He's in the money 1 out of 6 events.
I know. That's a good stat. I mean, technically,
this stat this year's taken that way down. I am like, what are we? I have had 5 events on the tour without cashing a check. I think I'm the highest in points without making any money.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what?
So it's just one of those years.
Oh, that's a hard spot to be in.
Well, technically, you've won more money in your career than Jack Chancellor won in his entire career, and Jack Chancellor won the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, wow.
Just put it in perspective.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, I'm very thankful for my career.
Dave said he didn't even hear that guy.
Who?
Pete, you know who Jack Chancellor is. Come on.
Sure, fucking
like the Do Nothing Worm?
Do Nothing Worm. He won the freaking Classic on a Carolina rig. Come on, man.
Ryan, I'm sorry my ADD got you off topic there. Go ahead, get back to it.
You're fine, man. But to circle back to the question, I was really excited to compete, and I was like, shoot, Ike might compete. All these guys, I've always wanted to compete against them and see how you fare. And then once I realized how good y'all were and that you were just going to take at least 35 to 40 of the checks, and it really limited my areas. I must have found really good stuff on the cross because I literally, without MLF, I would have had the whole area to myself. And I was like, holy crap. Just other than Chad Warren, who's a great guy too. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And I see both sides to it. And, as that whole thing developed, I could, I could step outside of being in the organization and see both sides of it. But, man, at the end of the day, I don't know. I just feel like that wasn't right. But who am I? Who am I to say?
We didn't sign up. We didn't sign up for that at the beginning of the year. Is kind of my hindsight,
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you bring all your trophy deer mounts with you for luck this week?
Yeah,
You know what? So this I'm up here visiting family in Wisconsin. They're 2 hours from La Crosse. I don't see them that much. And so I just hung out here for a week, spending time with cousins, taking them fishing on Fox Lake and these different lakes, catching northern and bass, just having fun. And my family has a lot of land up here, and this is my Uncle John's little trophy room right here. And he shot all these with a bow, and this is on our land up here. And
wow,
I just want to kill one of those
John
one day.
Bunyan, look at them beer, man.
They're giants.
They look like moose. Sure, they're not moose.
Yeah.
From Maine? Look at that.
Big animals.
She could be a dinosaur too. That one in the back there to the left.
Isn't plural moose meese?
Yeah, meese. Mises.
Yeah.
Nice.
This one right here is my favorite. It's not that big, but it has some really cool inside kickers. And anyways,
gotta love it up there.
Gotta love it. All right, Ryan.
I don't think any of us have ever killed a deer before, so we're out of our element.
Yo,
I have with my truck.
Let's
What are
slow
you
down
talking
here.
about? I've run a few over in my lifetime.
I've ran over like a hind quarter with the trailer once.
Yeah.
We got Riz. We have Riz with us.
There was
Riz
a
is
time
meat hunter.
where if I wasn't killing a dozen deer a year, I wasn't even alive.
Okay.
That's
He's
right.
our guy.
How about that?
It's back when
Riz, I got you, Riz. Riz, I'm bringing Riz up here. We're gonna kill a deer, Riz.
I'm in. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here it goes. All right, Ryan. I do want to throw some. Brian DeCarpenter's always makes these beautiful notes for us every show, and I want to make sure I run.
Shout out to Brian the Carpenter.
Shout out to Brian DeCarpenter. Want to make sure I run over some of these stats and make sure everything's click. Went to the University of Northern Alabama. I've got here. Started the fishing college team there in 2008. Captain in the Alabama National Guard for 10 years. Thank you for your service. And at some point here, something goes down that you've been guiding on Guntersville, Pickwick. You mentioned the Tennessee River System, Fishing FLW Tour. But how does I need to figure this out because I don't have all the information. But somewhere, while all this is going on, success, happiness, degrees, catching fish, probably, get a little, putang on the side. All this stuff.
He's a learned warrior.
Yes, learned warrior. Stuff starts going down as you're guiding on these Pickwick and Guntersville. Pick me up somewhere from here because, I saw some of the pictures, I saw some of the video. There's some ruthless dudes in Jersey. We've got our own little cult here in South Jersey, and there's some ruthless guys from in our fishing circles here. But never in my 30 years doing it here in South Jersey did I see that kind of vandalism. Right?
Nobody's bringing bullets.
Nobody's bringing bullets.
No.
Nobody's shooting cars up.
I mean, some people will shoot rocks at your 82 Hyundai Excel.
Right.
A few rules on them.
Right. We'll peel out our tires and shoot rocks, but not slashing tires, not the bullet holes.
No claw hammers.
I need to figure this out. Where did this come from? How did this transpire?
So the truth is, I really don't know how this particular incident transpires. Like, how does one go keying? I get it. Like, you hate me, like you hate True Bass, you hate that I've been successful. Could be a jealousy thing. Yeah. Maybe it's an ex-girlfriend. Maybe I swiped right on the wrong girl on Tinder.
Right.
I don't know.
Riz?
Could happen.
But that's pretty escalated. You just never know. There's drug areas in there.
Right.
Meth is an issue in Alabama. One of my best friends is on the drug task force. That's a thing. And the funny thing about when this happens, you think you're the only person, but then people reach out to you that this has happened before.
Yeah.
So I've had 5 or 6 people reach out to me saying that this has actually happened before at various ramps on Guntersville.
Huh.
And then not even a week later or prior, I can't remember which one, there was a guy. He was a tournament director on Lake Chickamauga, same river system, just an hour and a half up the road. They hated this guy so bad, they were breaking his window, throwing dead fish in there while he was out fishing. And then they set his truck on fire.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah. Wow. I forget his name, but that's almost worse to me. Like,
but Ryan,
the only thing, what's up?
No, as I was a police officer back in the day. The fact that you took damage from 2 different things, it tells me it's a little bit more deliberate than somebody just driving by firing shots into a truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my gut feeling too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like to be optimistic as well. I mean, so when I got keyed, it was in a very convenient place for someone to just walk by with a key. I don't know. I really don't know. I would hate to think that I'm going to have to, draw my weapon on someone and have a shootout, but I'm ready if that comes to happen. But I mean, trained in the military, I shoot at the range all the time. If someone wants to pull up on me and do that, we can have it out. But
here's the crazy thing, and I'm no stranger to having enemies and being hated. I can probably feel comfortable saying I'm the most hated bass pro ever in the history of bass fishing. Thank you very much.
How about it?
Thank you.
Mike Iaconelli, everybody.
I wear that
GQ,
badge.
thank you.
I wear the badge very proudly. Thank you.
And GQ,
I love you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you,
story
Pete.
on that?
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate it. But in my 23 years of doing it professionally, you'd think, with all that hatred, I've never had that happen. I've never even had, you know what I mean? Like, haven't even had anybody spit on my truck before coming back or shit on or anything. None
You
of
don't
that.
wash it, so you don't know.
Oh, I don't wash it. You're right. Maybe I did. I'm just amazed at the level of hatred. You know what I mean? Like that's next level. And what I want to know is it where you're at? Is it the region? Is it the people? Is it the what got it to that point? That's what's blown me away. Because, flashback for me 15 years ago, man, I wanted to. My dream was to buy a piece of property in Guntersville. Like, I remember.
I remember that.
I honestly, Ryan, I'm not kidding you. Like, back in the day, Guntersville was my dream. I'm like,
Fishing's great. The meth's amazing.
Well, besides the meth, the fishing was great. I love the area. I love that lake. I love the Tennessee River. And, and then you hear stuff like this.
It's hard to stay up for a good night bite without good meth.
That's true.
Well, Mike, so the only trend analysis I can do here would be that the summertime, the crime rate increases. So this is when I was just coming up, started guiding, I would do ride-alongs. I had my entire tackle bag stolen, while talking to people at boat ramps. And they would get away. We had no idea who did it. But every summer, there's camper shells that get broke into. Tons of spare tires get stolen. Like, they cleaned out Allred's boat ramp. 30 trucks spare tires one day. Cleaned them out.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually pretty tactical and smart. They're fresh tires. They're not all worn
but
down.
It's also on the side of the highway. Like, how bold do you got to be? And then also Seabold, it's just right off the highway to shoot. So the whole thing of this is, it's really sad because there's kids playing and campers at an RV park at Seabold Campground. And when they shot at my truck, the bullets were flying right in that direction. There was campers and there was kids playing out there all day, they said. So it's just ridiculous.
Did anybody hear the gunfire? Did anyone report the gunfire?
That's the other thing. One person finally came forward and said they heard it. They were fishing in Seabold, but no one at the campground heard it, surprisingly.
What kind of
cameras?
What kind of loads got taken out of the car? Did you recover any of the?
I did. It was a 9mm.
Okay.
Shot 11 times. Probably a 12 round, 11 with one in the chamber, unless he just had an 11 round clip in there. He might have missed once. So what they did is they turned. I was parked along the fence line right there in Seabold. And it looked like they come at it at a really sharp angle, and several of them ricocheted until they got perpendicular with the truck, and they started kind of going inside. But a testament to Toyota, Mike, I know you're a Toyota guy.
Yeah.
Only one bullet penetrated that vehicle.
Wow. Damn it.
Only one bullet penetrated that vehicle.
Man,
and
Toyota, let's go places.
Let's go places, baby. Hey, I love my Toyota. I mean, it's an amazing vehicle, and actually, that's what I was most impressed with. I was like, I can't believe only one of those things made it in.
Did you guys recover any shell casings from the parking lot, or were they all internal?
See, no, that's the other thing. It had to be done like inside a vehicle,
right?
So, I mean, and the height was very consistent with, someone driving. So the shell casings remain in the person's car. We searched everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a drive-by. I mean, they got in and got out. But man, I mean, I'll take it back. So when I first started guiding on the lake, I was one of the younger guides. The only other young guide was probably a guy named Jim Leary. And he's also not liked on the lake, kind of like me. And he's kind of a rivalry of mine. And there's people that have said out there, they wouldn't doubt if it was even him. But I'm like, I'm not going to go with, that's a bold accusation, of guide rivalries.
Wow.
But I know that certain people have hated me more than others when I made it to the next level.
Right.
I remember sitting in your booth and a couple individuals walked by. Like, this is the amount of, I'm having a conversation. It was actually with Prosnick, and we're just talking about the stormtrooper on the side of my truck and different things. And they're just sitting there staring, fuming, just mad that I'm sitting there just on your casting couch.
Wow.
I thought that was you. Was that you the guy I was talking to about looking up into the trees?
Yeah.
I thought so. I was going to ask you that later on. I wasn't sure if that was you. I was trying to tell Brian about you. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, that was me. And I was I was trying to tell you I had a stormtrooper on the side of my truck, and they shot the damn stormtrooper. Like, so it's bullshit.
Well, this takes to a whole
that might have been
level.
Hey, maybe they weren't targeting you, dude. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like me very much. So
all right, this is all starting to come full circle now, though, because, like I said again, the level of hatred here is unbelievable. So we're talking about why do you think, Ryan, that they've got this level of hatred? Is it your success? Is it your business? Is it the growth of your guide business? That's your business is growing, other ones are faltering. What's
my guide business is kind of steady, and it's always been successful. So when I got deployed, I got deployed in 2012. And the biggest thing that I learned while I was deployed, I taught myself SEO, which is search engine optimization. So I rebranded my guide business to Alabama Bass Guide. And when you do that, you're getting naturally found. So my business has pretty much stayed steady since 2014 when I came back, just by organic searches of tourists coming to the area.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's that. I mean, there was that initial shock of, I'm taking business. So the older guides got into it with them. There's even situations where I started out as a young guy that was $325 for a full day, and they felt like I was cutting their prices, and they would bring me in for a group trip, and they'd all get paid $400. They're like, well, your rate's $325, so you get paid $325, and just kind of crap like that.
Yeah.
But all that's over the years have fell to the wayside, and I mean, I can't lie. We've all been there. We're on ledges. I've gotten into it with locals. I've pulled in on people. People pulled in on me.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And you learn as you go what's appropriate and not appropriate. I've done things that I shouldn't have, and there's things where I stood my ground where I should have stood my ground.
Right.
So you make enemies that way.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of to a point. There's some individuals. If you pull in within a quarter mile of that individual, they think you pulled in on them.
Right.
So.
Right.
And when you got a rat boat like mine on Lake Guntersville, if I come near anybody, if it's the wrong person, they're pissed.
Yep.
They've got the whole lake. Ryan can't find nowhere else to fish. And so I have a sneaking suspicion it could be someone involved in this night tournament. I don't know this for a fact. It's just a hunch because it happened that's right after it. Me and my buddy Jacob Wall, he's my traveling partner on tour, and he's actually second in AOY, having a killer year. 4th of July weekend, we wanted to go fish this night tournament, and they let Jacob fish before Mike. And I'm like, Jacob, I don't think they're going to let me fish, bro. He's like, oh, dude, they don't care, blah, blah, blah. Let's just go. I was like, let's do it, man. So we show up, and we pay our entry fee, and as soon as they see it's me, they come give us our money back, tell us we can't fish, blah, blah, blah. And I can't tell you how many death stares I had from just middle-aged men, just 40 or 50-year-old guys. I'd wave and try to talk to them, say, hey, what's up? And they just won't even say a word to me. Dang. So the answer is I don't really know. I mean, I'm kind of a sarcastic guy.
Why the hell wouldn't they let you fish a tournament?
Guntersville is the dramatic capital. I'm telling you, guides can't fish. They're crybabies. Guides can't fish. Pros can't fish. Yet Tom, Dick, and Harry, who fish the lake 7 days a week and live on the lake and are out there every day, like they're scared of us competing against them.
Right.
Why not?
And I just want to go have fun.
Why not go guide in Florida?
Ryan, what are the stakes in these tournaments? What are we talking about?
$25 entry, $400 purse.
Oh, Jesus. It's like a Thursday
I know,
night.
yeah. It's a Thursday. It's night tournaments, yeah.
They got
and
tiny,
there's a
tiny
couple.
penises, these guys.
Oh, yeah, man. It's
little opposing thumb.
There's got to be
penis?
something else. It can't just be a microphallus. There has to be something else.
Microphallus.
There's got to be more to it, right? Sorry.
I don't know, man. It's just sad. So I haven't tried to fish
Shout out
those
to
in
Cup
years.
Whiskey.
That's the first one.
Whiskey.
That's the first one I tried to fish in probably 7 years. And a week later, my truck got shot up. So I don't know.
I gotta, Ryan, and shout out to True Bass Lures, by the way. That's Ryan's bait company. It's an amazing swim bait, and we did a really cool way to rig it, which I thought was awesome. Got a unique strategy on that. You can check it out at Bass U TV. We did an interview with you just a few months ago, and we were talking. We wanted to do, there's another controversial story about another controversial individual down in that part of the country.
Sure.
That you might remember him, and I wrote his name down.
Leon Tidwell?
Tidwell. You remember him, Mike?
Yeah.
You remember Tidwell?
Yes, I do.
He used to dominate down on Pickwick.
Yeah.
And the stories that it's just similar to these stories, Ryan. Like I heard Tidwell used to like if somebody was caught fishing in the general area or any of his spots that he had in the tail race, on Pickwick, that he would come out with a shotgun and run you off of those spots.
Wow.
And
he's done much worse than that from what I've heard. So anything I say about Leon Tidwell is merely hearsay. So I'm just relaying information that's passed on over the years. So I'll just preface that.
He won one of the tournaments we fished in, Mike. He was a dominant angler. He figured out how to catch those smallmouth in those tail races long before anybody else figured it out.
Yeah.
And then did whatever he could to keep people off of them.
Right.
But he was wrought with controversy.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've heard?
So he was just a really hard dude. Is the best way I can put it. You didn't mess with Leon. If he said something, he meant it, and he was going to do it. I don't think he rarely had a shirt on, I think.
You
I've heard stories of
Leon.
Hold on.
Overalls.
You said he didn't have a shirt on?
Overalls or something.
Yeah, overalls and no shirt. Yeah. He was a muscle.
Leon.
Overalls and no shirt?
Yep.
So were the straps just went across the titties?
Sounds like South Philly.
Dude, that shit's coming back. Boys to Men, Motown Philly.
That's right.
Come on.
One hanging down, one nipple out, just saying hi. Oh, but so the way that they would find these fish is they would get a case of beer and they just drift. Like Riz was saying, come on, let's drift. They would just drink beer and drift, and they'd bounce a little grub. Yeah. And freaking dude, and they just bounce a grub, and they'd find the lines that these smallmouth are on, and they get out there and they keep doing it. And once they win a night tournament, if someone went back to their hole, it was bad for them. And I heard multiple stories like he could hold his breath for a really long time. So he would jump out of the boat, swim to under their boat, get in the boat, beat their ass, and then swim back to his boat. It was nuts.
Wow.
Crazy.
Alabama's wild.
Holy
dude.
shit, it's like the Wild
How
West.
do we get the rep up here being so crazy?
I don't know.
Hold on. 1 second. That's what freaks me out. I keep thinking back to when they came up here for the Delaware, and I love all them guys. But God, were they paranoid up
They
here.
were scared.
Oh, they were
Philly.
terrified.
Philly's terrible.
Oh,
they thought they were escaping from New York.
They're going to get
with
shot.
Kurt Russell.
They're going to get shot. They're going to get raped.
Yeah, Snake Plissken.
They're going to have their bass boat graffitied. There's going to be a big burner on the side that says spit.
What was on the honky lips right on the spray painted?
It don't even happen like that up here.
No.
It don't happen like Alabama.
It's crazy.
My God, he's getting waterborne.
Imagine how these guys would hold up fishing on the flat in the summertime.
Oh, dude.
That bumping boats.
It's a disaster.
Forget about
The
it.
Tidwell shit, though, is movie potential.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that.
Sure.
That's a move. That's actually movie potential.
Yeah.
Diving out of your boat,
Especially diving,
holding
swimming,
your breath for like
swimming
27 minutes
in overalls
to go upstream.
in overalls.
He could easily replace Tickle for me from Moonshiners. Easily.
Wow.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but
Tickles, dude from Moonshiners. You don't watch Moonshiners.
He always wears overalls.
Yeah, Tickle's no joke.
I don't watch TV.
He's my favorite guy.
So Tidwell used to he got in the boat and actually would just because I heard he was like a super tough guy. On top of that, like you would not want to mess with this guy.
Shit, I better watch what I say.
Yeah, he might come up here, drive right. He may swim up here.
Yeah, you're right.
And get your ass. Hold his
overalls
breath the whole way.
That's right.
I want to remind everybody, if you're watching and listening right now, and if you've got a question for Ryan, or if you've got a question or a comment about anything you're hearing, please hit us up on the message board. Riz is going to handle it. But Ryan, I want to put you on the spot right now. There is an outside possibility. It's not totally, this could be that whoever did this right now is watching Ike Live. There is the potential of that. So if you've got, if there's people watching right now that could be one of these guys that are keying your car or shooting your car or whatever, if they're watching right now and you had to say something to them, what would you say to them right now?
I mean, just stop it, please.
You can curse.
You could also just go straight
what?
Jesus on him and forgive him.
I'm not even mad. Like someone had to be really mad. Like you have to have a lot of hate in your own heart to be this targeted at someone else. So
yeah,
just quit it, and I hope you find peace, brother. Like. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't get it. Like, the whole jumping thing or moving in or getting too close, like the level of hatred, I don't understand. I understand why people hate me. I get it, Dave. I'm good looking. Look at me. I'm rich.
Handsome.
I'm handsome.
Rich.
I got strong kids. I get it.
You'll cut a guy off.
Strong jeans.
Yeah. Passed on your loins.
Passed on my, yes. I totally get it, but to do that, because
it's psychotic, really.
It's psychotic. It is. Yeah.
To shoot a freaking truck in broad daylight. So my buddy's a police officer like Frosnick. So he said, you have to have motive, right? So what's the motive? And everyone thought I banged somebody's wife, and I'm like, dude, no. Definitely not. I don't even have time to find my own girlfriend right now. I'm on tour. They're rescheduling COVID. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to guide, make money because I can't catch a check. So,
is there?
Yeah.
Do you have a Ryan's ghost, like Brian's ghost?
I might. I don't know. Oh man.
I bet. Yeah.
Who knows,
you know what?
Man,
That's mine.
Could be
You're
a Ryan's
right. He
ghost.
could have a Ryan's ghost down there.
Ryan's ghost.
Matt in Wisconsin on the message board said that, hey Ryan, at least it wasn't a naked man out front of your house.
That's true.
Manipulating his genitalia.
Oh, that's true. It could have been worse.
Ryan, do you know the story on that? Brian made national news, got on a live PD. He had some pervert out front of his house naked, yanking on his rope on his front step.
Got spunk all over his front door.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Damn, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you were shagging other people's broads, it would have happened at your house. Being it was at the boat ramp, somebody.
It was fishing related.
Yeah,
100%. 100% fishing related.
The bird's nest on the message board wants to know if you think Smallmouth Crush might have done it because he was in a White Claw range. There ain't no law when you're drinking claws.
I don't even know the joke.
Travis is on them claws too, man.
Travis is clawing. Yeah. He's droning and clawing at the same time. Yo, Ryan, if you ever have a drone just come up on you, it's Travis.
It's always Travis. He's actually
on Instagram with a White Claw right now.
He's in the drone.
He's actually in the drone.
He finds a way to get in the drone before he sends it up. His tall ass is in the drone.
You say it.
It's
you
not.
Say it. I know you say it.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
But it makes
there's a lot of tin cups.
Recommend.
Flying around the studio here tonight, Ryan.
Ryan, Fat Chris on the message board wants to know at what boat ramp did the you mentioned that a truck got torched as well down there. What ramp did the truck get lit on fire at?
Oh, what's that? It's one of the main ramps. It's like the one where Jacob Wheeler won in front of. I can't think of the name right now. Might start with a C. drawing a blank, man. It's that main ramp there in Chickamauga.
Oh, it was on Chickamauga.
Yeah, it was on Lake Chickamauga.
Okay.
So, yeah, well, pardon me for not knowing. I mean, I know when I go up there, but then when I leave, I forget the names of the ramps.
So, Ryan, Brian said you got a story about a guy got himself dead up there on Gunnersville. What happened?
He got himself dead?
That's Tidwell, I think, is the.
Oh,
it's back to our Tidwell story.
Don't think
How that
so I can.
He died?
Yeah, we can finish that up. Yeah, so he was murdered, cold blood. You know, I don't know the whole story of the family. He may have been tied up in things he shouldn't have. There was a phone call. Like I said, this is all hearsay, rumor, right? Huh. But there was a phone call he made. The last thing that someone heard was, "They're out to get me. I got to go, blah, blah, blah." And he hung up the phone. And they just disappeared. And then they found him a while later, tied between two stumps. And it had been so long that it was just a skeleton, and his gold chain was around his neck, and that's how they knew it was him.
Dang.
I mean, they could have done dentures, but they knew it was him. He was tied, you know, between two that's classic mafia shit.
Wow.
That was in it was in Pickwick, right?
Pickwick, yeah. So Bear Creek, was the creek.
I love Bear Creek.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm not besmirching Tidwell. Tidwell sounds like a pretty rad, aggressive dude, but if you're swimming from boat to boat to fist fight, you're not. How else are you going to die but getting tied between trees?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not shocking that's how you go down, dude.
Needs to be a movie.
Man, I think there's a gangster.
This keeps adding on to
Dang,
the movie.
dude, he needs a movie.
Wow.
For real.
Between two stumps. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Stefan from BU says we need to start a bass fishing fight club.
Well, the champ's already dead. You know, he's swimming from boat to boat to punch that face, dude.
Damn. That's crazy. Wow, I the more I'm soaking all this in, the more I realize that it's got to be rough to live in that part of Alabama. That's rough.
I have no desire to live there.
I mean, Mike, the problem is you have all these country guys. No offense, but they have huge egos, and if you offend their ego, woe be it unto you. Like, you're an enemy for freaking life, and they're going to go out of their way to fuck with you.
Wow.
And I wouldn't make it there for 9
minutes. I'd be tied between a tree by ninth grade.
Yeah, I mean, you look at
Dave, you'd be screwed.
Look at the news right now. You look at Detroit, you look at Chicago, and you think, God, I would never want to live there. Man, that looks like a fucking resort compared to Gunnersville. Jesus.
Imagine what the hunting wars must be like. Ryan, are there hunting rivalries just like there are fishing ones?
Oh, yeah, bad.
Or the duck hunting, probably crazy.
The duck hunting is what I was going to get at. And maybe it's a duck hunter who hates me. I don't know. We've been peppered, you know. I've had guys try to call the game warden. Like, we're just fishing in all reds, you know, and then we come around an island, and they start blasting, "Get out, we're hunting here." Like, well, I have clients. I'm just going to fish fucking through here if you can chill for a second. And they just raise hell, man. And people think they own the lake in different aspects, and people would accuse me of the same thing. They think I own the lake. So, but I definitely don't think that.
If we sound like we're like at the zoo, like looking at a rare exhibit right now, it's because up here where we live, like, you know, we're Sweet Home Alabama. We don't even know this exists. Like, we're totally naive to it, dude. Like, we're all shocked, and we're not like making fun of it, but we don't know this even's going on down there.
I honestly thought I thought the worst thing that happened in Gunnersville was an occasional tornado that came through.
I thought the worst thing was bad sweet tea and barbecue. I didn't know it was.
I thought it was Boyd buying Gunnersville.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah, he owns a lot of things down there.
Too early.
This is crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely crazy. Oh, and so a father at Pride Landing on Pickwick, someone robbed a father and a son and then shot him after they robbed him.
At Pickwick?
At Pickwick. This was pretty recent, too.
I want an apology from every Elite Series angler that came up here and fished that Delaware River tournament. When was it?
2014.
2014. Every one of you.
Yeah.
You want an apology.
Rick Morris especially went on Facebook and complained.
Yeah, Scuba Rick, we need an apology as soon as possible.
I think he just complained that the fishery sucked.
Oh, did he?
I think so. And he's pretty much right about that.
Scuba Rick.
But everybody else that was paranoid and talked shit on us.
No, they thought they were.
Gary Klein was up on stage. I don't know.
You would have thought he was in.
I thought he was very offensive.
You would have thought he was in Mogadishu weighing in the way he was complaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gary Klein was?
Yeah. I thought.
What did he say? I don't remember what he said.
I don't know. There was a vibe. He's
Was
like,
it?
yeah, the people around here, they're interesting. That's all I'll say. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean?
He's the one that got shot out in the bayou.
He did.
This guy tried to clip him tried to wing him.
Listen, I apologize, Gary Klein. Maybe I read it wrong.
We got to go back and rewind the footage of that one.
Yeah. But I was in the crowd, and I was like, man, really?
Huh.
That came off a certain kind of way.
Yeah. Damn it, man.
It's been 6 years, and I'm still carrying that with me.
Yeah.
After this show on the next tournament, we're all going to have holes in our truck.
I think so.
We might. We may.
I'm not traveling south of the Mason-Dixon after this.
Yeah.
We come in peace.
Visible barrier.
Fuck it.
Wow. I didn't know.
Well, the crazy thing, I was only able to get my windows fixed before I came up here. So I'm driving around the country with a shot up truck, and it's a conversation starter everywhere I stop.
Right.
Most people walk up like the funniest thing, I was coming across about to take out, and the weighing stage is right there, and there's people looking. There's, oh, look, he's got bullet hole stickers. And the guy walks up, and he's like, holy fucking shit.
Bullet hole stickers. Yeah, I remember those things.
Yeah.
So, Ryan,
crazy.
we didn't talk about your military career. Do you care to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine, man. So I enlisted in 2008. I went to MEPS there in Nashville and went off to training at Fort Knox, and came back contracted in RTC at UNA. And the whole reason that I decided to go in, my parents, one, were military, and they retired, which is kind of how I ended up in Alabama in the first place. They got their last duty station was there. So it was kind of in my family line, and I needed money for college, and I had no way to pay for it because I was broke. I was a server. I was getting fired from every job for fishing, and I just was like, I got to get my life together. So I enlisted in the military and then came back, and then it just kind of hit the ground running from there. I graduated in 2011 through RTC. I got a BBA in marketing and business with the intent to go into the fishing realm, and went off to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and that's where I became a military intelligence officer and did all my training out there. Came back, basically had about a 4 months layover. It might have been longer than that. And I went and got deployed over to Kuwait and Iraq. And we had guys everywhere. So I was deployed with what is the 135th ESC, which stands for Expeditionary Sustainment Command, which is basically logistics. We did logistics for the entire 10 countries in the Middle East where we currently have operations ongoing. At the time, it was, Enduring Freedom. So,
I only asked that because I think
What's
it's
that?
important for people to know that, you were deployed overseas, and a lot of people were skeptical of your vehicle getting shot up by the way you reacted to it. And I immediately wasn't, because I know of gallows humor, right? And people don't understand the dark humor you develop in police work, fire work, and being a soldier. And when I saw the way you reacted to it, that wasn't shocking to me at all when I knew your background. Other people that might not understand that, they don't know the things we laugh at that we don't even talk about because our jokes go unlaughed at when we're around other people. I can talk to these guys like that because they know me, but if I'm in a room of strangers, I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, they look at you like you're crazy.
Your jokes go unlaughed at.
People accuse me of doing it myself for attention because of how I reacted. I was like, what else are you gonna do? Seen worse stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, here's, like I said, as far as being, have had stuff like this happen to me over the years, the one thing I can tell you, Ryan, is keep doing what you do, right? Be yourself. Don't, I know when shit like this goes down, it makes you think a second time, but keep doing what you're doing.
Hold on, man. Is that really good advice? You just got shot at.
No, well,
maybe do something different.
I don't know. No.
I would like to say maybe whatever you're doing, do the opposite.
What is he going to quit guiding, quit fishing, and work at fucking Waffle House?
I feel like
Quick
that's the
guide, go to
intent of
Waffle
it
House.
is to run me off. I feel like the intent of it, that's what I feel like, is to run me off. That's what I feel like the intent of this shooting was.
Right.
And they
don't
win.
let it happen.
Like
Dig your
Mike
feet
says,
in.
if they fucking, like, so, you know, they're going to be an idiot to do anything because, one, there's going to be surveillance from now on. If I'm there.
That's
which
come
is-
up on the message board, actually, Ryan. What are your plans for that?
There will be 100% surveillance. I'm pushing very hard. So with every bad thing in my life, I try to turn it to a positive. And I think with all the crime in Guntersville, a lot of it would be deterred, and we would have greater tourism if we had cameras at boat ramps, and everyone would feel safer.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get cameras installed at boat ramps and try to nip some of this in the bud, because people think they can get freaking away with it. Now, and then until then, I highly recommend to get a looping camera installed on your truck and with a wide angle view, and just install it somewhere. Even if, 1 out of every 5 vehicles has it on Guntersville, we're going to have footage of stuff that happens, and people start getting caught. And then once you start catching them, it'll lay down. Right. Even if they hate me, it's not going to happen at a boat ramp. And what are you going to do? Come find me at my house? Yeah, I will. Come on, let's go.
Dang.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, I think this was a great segment to flush this out, to get to the bottom of it. And the interesting thing is, you hear about this kind of stuff happening in other sports all the time. Baseball, football,
Ice skating,
basketball,
Tanya
ice
Harding.
skating, Tanya Harding. Of course,
You're the Tanya Harding of bass fishing,
right? It's
you're the Nancy Kerrigan of bass fishing.
Right.
Tanya Harding's the
You're
assailant.
the Nancy.
My
You're the
bad.
Nancy. It all comes full circle, and here we have it in bass fishing. So it's another testament that this is a true professional sport. Here it goes, happening again. So crazy.
Dang,
shit.
dude.
Well, it's definitely not the way I wanted to get on your show, but I'll take it.
No, you were on the show before you got shot at. You were at the Classic.
Yeah, the Bass U. But yeah, man, appreciate all you do, Mike. So I haven't talked about this really much, but so I was the only one who fished in my family, other than my uncles who were far removed in Wisconsin. And you were the first book I read, and I pretty much followed your guidance and everything along the way, and helped me. So I have one great story of like my first BFL, and it has to do with you.
Okay.
And a Rapala X-Rat in Glass Coast.
Yeah.
So I was a sophomore or junior in college, and I hadn't fished a BFL before I owned a bass boat, and I'm just getting into college fishing, blah, blah, blah. And I read an article of yours on long pause jerkbaiting.
Yeah.
And like actually counting 1001, 1002.
Yeah.
And I don't even own a jerkbait. And I just, for some reason, read this the night before the BFL. I get up in the horseshoe. Everybody knows what the horseshoe is. I drew out Wade Thorpe, takes me up in there. I catch like a little one on a bandit, like it's like a 4-pound smallmouth, 3-pound smallmouth. And then a few minutes later, I look over and there's a spick and span brand new glass ghost floating by the boat. I just pick it up, put it in there. I'm like, well, that's cool. Found a bait. I said, well, if I don't catch one another hour, I'm going to tie that sucker on. And I just put like 8-pound Berkeley Vanish on a spinning rod. And I tied that sucker on, first cast. I'm counting to like 15 because I'm like, oh, shit. 4-pound largemouth.
Wow.
Back out there. 5 minutes later, twitching 1001. He hears me counting out loud. He thinks I'm psychotic. I'm literally like just counting out loud. 1001, 1002. And dude, got another one. It's a 680. I had like big fish in the co-angler side.
Oh my God.
Long story short, I caught like 17 and a half pounds out of the back of the boat on a glass ghost Rapala that came floating by the boat, all because I read your article on log pause jerkbaiting.
Wow.
How about
Epic story, man. How about that jerkbait just like meant to be, floating by?
Talk about meant to be. Floating by.
I know. Delaware
River, baby.
All that's out there is damn condoms. Used condoms.
Like a Brian Kershaw story with the culprit worm.
That's right, Brian Kershaw. Red shad.
He found a float.
He found
he found a floating worm and
practiced
around docks and won the Classic.
Yeah.
I forgot that part.
Yeah, in practice, he saw one floating. He was like, "Oh, this must be a good color here."
Yeah.
Red shad.
Red shad. What a standard color.
Yeah. But Ken Duke doesn't think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Who doesn't?
Mr. Ken Duke
doesn't think.
Yeah, we were having this discussion about the Hall of Fame.
You're in deep now, Pete.
Yeah, I know who should be in and who should be out, and we conflicted on that one. But
a Federation champion making and winning the Classic doesn't deserve.
I've never had a bad thought about Ken Duke in my life until this very moment.
Well, but Ken has an analytical viewpoint to it. He backs it up with.
It's a valid point.
It's a valid point.
It's a non-valid point.
Well,
it's a non-valid point when you look at who's in the Hall of Fame. Have you ever looked at the list?
He will agree with you there.
Okay. Because there's total fucking nobodies in the Hall of Fame.
Let me tell you something. Nobody hates the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame committee more than Ken Duke.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
But although Pete brought this out and shouldn't have, his only logic was he had a good tournament.
Yep.
And it wasn't his fault.
He made the Federation National Championship, won it, and then
he made it twice. He made it He made the Classic twice through the National Championship.
Yeah. But again, we're talking Hall of Fame, and this is just somebody's opinion, and it wasn't steeped in hatred towards this individual or anything negative. Just didn't feel like the credentials were there. I think with Kershaw, it's more the inspirational aspect that he brings to it.
Right.
There's an emotional tie that you and I have to it.
And I think that,
and it's strong. It's strong as hell. I have it too.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't my life like it was yours, but there's a very strong emotional tie because of what he did.
We have to. That's something we need to pull up is the list of who's in the Hall of Fame because I remember
I think in other sports there's guys in the Hall of Fame that are only there because of the emotional aspects as well.
But every year, one of the names that's inducted, I look at it and I'm like, nah, like why? Like the president of Fluger Fishing from 1790. I'm like, nah, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, you old vampire.
Beat it, nerd.
Fucking vampire.
Fat rich guy.
Beat it, nerd.
Let's get back to reality here.
Yeah,
Ryan, thank you for coming on the show. Promise me, next time you come on the show, give us an update on what's going on here, and you'll have a big announcement of a tournament win for us, which would be great. How many derbies you got left here the rest of the year of 2020?
So planned, I'm going to obviously fish Sandusky, Ohio, and Lake Erie. Can't go into Canada, obviously, and then I'm going to go home and fish in the BFL at the end of the month on Lake Guntersville. So
nice.
And that's really all I have planned. I'm sure I'll jump in whatever I can throughout the rest of the year, but maybe I got one tournament left, and never know. Like Palaniuk said, just fish to win, and that's kind of how I fish anyways. But I love how some guys, they fish to win and they always have success. But this could just be my hiccup year. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, my sophomore year sucked as well back in 2000. So you'll pass it. You'll keep going, and much success to you. I can't get enough for coming on the show tonight, Ryan. It was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Great stories.
Thanks, Ryan.
There you have it.
Thanks,
man.
Ryan.
Awesome stories. Dude, who would have known Guntersville was that rough? Who would have known?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I would have no idea.
I had no clue, man.
Jesus. It's like sounds like Camden.
Shooting, not worse. I mean, they're swimming from boat to boat.
I know.
That's hardcore, man.
That is hardcore.
That's like frogman shit.
But that you're like setting the tone with that. You dive off your boat, and now you're like fucking freestyle swimming to someone else's boat. Like, are you breaststroking? Like, what?
I think he was underwater the whole time.
You gotta be quiet. You have to be
you're
quiet.
going Aquaman.
Yeah.
Against
very
the current.
quiet to get to the next boat.
Battling the whole thing. There's a lot more people that fish down in that part of the country.
That's
a lot more, and I imagine the conflicts are much more often.
Yeah.
It's got to be. We have 15 boats on a Thursday nighter.
20.
We forgot Ryan's trial that I wrote on.
Oh my God.
That's your goddamn fault.
That's him. I thought he didn't want to do it. I thought he wanted to be on it.
I didn't know.
Well, you communicate with him.
It's right there.
Huh. Well, we get
Ryan,
him back
back.
we get Ryan back on.
Shout out
for
to
his trial.
2 Cup Whiskey for
It's my fault. The boss is the boss. What am I gonna do?
No, I didn't know. It felt right to end it right there. I didn't know.
Probably just as well.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well,
let's see.
Might have been good.
We went from
Let's do it.
We went from Girl Scouts to church to yeah, whatever.
My God.
Well, as a
All
consolation prize to the trial, we're going to open a mystery tackle box.
Just as well.
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
Let's crack it open.
All right, Dave, you got it there? Is that it?
I don't know if this one's sealed. I was using this as like a notepad sealed. There you go. You get to do your
we're gonna seal it.
signature.
All right.
Bust her open.
As everyone knows, Ike Live is the only live podcast, Brian Carpenter, is that click?
Probably.
That opens
Who knows nowadays?
MTB box live. And, of course, we're going to break the seal. It's one of the best parts of it. You never know what you're going to get. We're going to try to open this up here real quick. Get this fucking thing. Since COVID, they
Get
sealed
Brian's
better.
Coke now.
Sealed them up real good.
I got it. Since COVID, these things are really locked up, man. COVID's changed this.
It's my
thing
fault. I
completely.
got plenty of calcium in my system.
Pete also has one there.
I've got
and we're gonna open this thing, and a lot of cool stuff in this one.
It would have been great if you guys would have like got that box and
I
put
like
masks
this.
on all the lures that you sent to Pete.
I like this a lot.
What?
Like if you put all masks on every lure Pete had, like
All
little
right.
tiny masks and Band-Aids.
All right, Dave, I'm going to you. All right. So, Brian Carpenter, give me a little small close up of this right here.
I'll give you what I got.
A lot of good stuff in this MTB box this month, but this one caught my eye. Really, really good. This is called the Death Wish. Death Wish. And if you look at it, this is a 4-pack of what I would call, Riz, what would you call this? A finesse boot tail swim bait. It's like a boot tail swim bait. Almost looks like an Optima swim bait a little bit. It's got that Freddy Boom Boom Optima look to it. But it's a boot tail. I like the colors. I like the eye spot on it. I could see these working on a jig head or even a weighted swim bait hook or an unweighted swim bait hook. Even as a swim jig trailer, I could see these working. So, Death Wish, very cool. Very cool looking bait. Like it a lot. Dave, what do you got?
I got the Guggen Baits frog.
Oh, I saw
Nice.
that before.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I saw that before.
I picked that one last show, Dave.
How's the
Good
hardness? How's the hardness? That's the main thing on a
It's
frog.
a little
always.
stiffer than me. A little stiffer than I. Than
Yeah,
I, would
I always
like,
worry
but
about
the hook is
the hardness.
The hook is just crazy sharp. I mean,
Right.
Gamakatsu.
Huh.
You gotta let it sit on the deck of your boat for a little bit in the sun to soften it up. But
The
it's a good
skirt
frog.
feels different.
Right.
The skirt feels different than other skirts do, man. It seems a little thinner.
Skirt and Ernie.
Yeah, maybe thinner.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just
maybe a
picturing.
little-
'Cause I use Spro and I use Duckett's frog, but I
Body
mean,
maybe
it feels
a
a little
little
thinner than
hard.
that.
Huh. I like the eat me too on the top. I mentioned it.
Yeah, I know
before.
it's funny.
It's crucial. I mean, they got to feel the
Ross,
letters.
Throw me that.
Yeah, I'm mostly going to get it in so it don't fly all over.
All right, let's
I'm
keep
gonna give it
going.
to you.
Let's keep going. Riz, what do you got back here?
I have a Lake Fork stick bait, and the reason that I picked it is because it's got like the D-bomb thing going on with the ribs.
Yeah, little rings.
Yeah. It's got the rings going on from end to end, but the middle has a solid segment and the ends have a solid segment. So what I'm looking at it as that it's obvious where if I'm going to wacky rig it, it's obvious where to put the wacky rig. And as that thing's falling, I think it's going to catch a lot of water, make bubbles, and should have a pretty good action going down. So it's a Lake Fork Trophy Lures, garlic and salt impregnated, which I think is huge when it comes to soft plastics. Is I don't want it to smell like chemicals. I want it to smell like something natural. So.
Very interesting. Brian Carpenter,
You
what we
ready?
got, and then we're gonna go to Pete.
Let me see that thing.
I got Gambler
not
Wars.
bad. It's not bad.
Ooh, Gambler.
Gambler Wars.
Gambler Wars.
Gambler Wars.
This is the Why Not.
Which
Oh,
color gambler we got?
We
Talking
got a
talking punch
Ooh,
bait.
my
yeah, it's a
God.
punch bait.
Dave, smell that.
Yo, smell it.
Garlic.
Strong.
Heater.
Heater. That's that heater. Yeah, the Gambler Wars smells good. And that 10,000 fish. Same thing we had last show with the with this swim jig from Lift It. It's a pretty cool swim jig.
Yeah.
Paired up with
Tickle
that,
tail.
it actually looks really good. I'd like to throw it sometime soon. Pete, what do you got, Pete?
Pete, what you got over there?
Same thing.
I have a tickle tail.
Tickle tail.
This is BTC's got me interested in these baits. It's not as big as a bluegill. It's not as big and wide as some of the things that he showed me. But the
It's like a perch.
But I like this. This is a lot of ribs. It's going to catch a lot of water, a lot of resistance in the water.
Right.
It's a Ketchco tickle tail.
Right. Ribbed for her pleasure.
Ribbed for some kind of pleasure.
It's a good
Smells
soft plastic,
good, too.
but not as big as BTC's. I've heard that in many scenarios.
I don't know. All right, so this I want to get back to this Death Wish little swim bait. It
looks
it's
good.
Nice, but I turned around. I assumed it was Ketchco, but it's Jawbone Tackle Co. Distributed by ASL LLC from Coropolis, Pennsylvania.
What?
Yeah.
Local?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Show
Well,
me
where the
what-
hell's
I don't know. I mean,
Coropolis?
Pennsylvania could be 6 hours
How's
away.
how's the plastic feel on that, Mike? Is it
Super
soft?
soft.
Show
dude.
me that.
Super soft. This is right. This is actually right.
Yeah, it is right.
It's super right.
Yeah.
I like the little vagina flap on the bottom too.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's right.
It's crucial. You got to have that.
That bait's right. All right, Riz, we've had a great show, but here I know a lot of people are waiting, anticipating. They're on bated breath to learn who from Facebook won the like and share contest tonight for this Ike Live gift bag. You want to get that prepared?
Absolutely, guys. We're actually at 126 shares right now.
Wow.
Get us to 130. It's not going to take much. I know there's a few people out there watching that have hit the that haven't hit the like and share button yet. Let's get to that. We're going to announce the like and share winner here in just a couple of minutes. So let's hit that 130 mark, and we'll get this thing out there.
I like it. All right, Dave, I got to tell you something. I don't know if Brian told you, but I'm really excited about the potential guest for the next show.
Ooh.
I don't know the details. All I know is we're excited about it.
Very excited. So we have a guest coming on that is a former special ops guy that has got into the conservation business, and he does a lot of marine ecology with sinking marine habitat and a lot of saltwater stuff. So it's going to be a great show. Can't wait to get this guy on. Sounds
What
super
branch was he in?
interesting. I don't know. Becky has been texting with the guy a little bit, but it sounds like Mark McCowan
I'm excited, man.
kind of guy that has a lot of history.
Yeah,
That's from our area, or
I don't think so.
because none of them live around here.
No,
they all live in
I don't
the
think
south.
he's from here.
Like,
He's
it
from
tells
the
you
south.
where not to live. Like
Yeah.
not around here. Like those dudes
Probably
know
from
where to-
Alabama. They grow up shooting each other.
That's true.
Just kidding.
and swimming after each other with knives in between their teeth. You know what I mean? I always wanted to do that, like a waterborne attack with a knife between my teeth. You know what I mean?
Goddamn right.
I'm a real bad guy though, not like a normal guy fishing.
Pete, what do you got?
I'm looking at a lot of the Facebook comments right now. Is what I'm looking at.
Oh
Try to
boy.
put this back in the clam
Are those
correctly.
pink skinny jeans.
That beard's getting thick, dude.
My beard?
That's a COVID beard.
Yeah. It's I actually trimmed it down for you guys.
I was gonna say, I don't see beard. It's
You know what's going to happen? Unfortunately, Pete, Jake, in about 25 years, you're gonna what you're gonna be doing, right? With that big white beard, you're gonna be doing Santa to your grandkids, bro. No doubt, man.
Mike's already got me at Santa a number of times,
That's true.
It is what it is.
I actually missed that.
Ike Live show specials.
Yeah.
You
You
can
remember
go
the
back
good
and watch
old
them.
Ike Lives?
Yeah.
Like when we felt compelled to dress up.
we got to bring it back. We got to bring Becky back into the show.
Yeah.
She's got to stop social distancing
Yeah.
from us
But the funny thing is, like,
because she brought a lot of energy.
yeah, but we did it a lot.
Yeah.
Not even just on like
We
big
did it for no
holidays.
reason at
For
all.
no reason at all.
No
we would
reason
just
at
get
all.
dressed up. That was fun.
We got to do it again.
That was
we got to
fun.
get this area
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and we'll get it. We'll
Yeah,
get
I miss the dressing up. I miss the getting piss drunk.
it. We're working on it.
You know
I
what I
tried,
mean?
but I get yelled at. Brian's
Yeah.
yelling at me earlier.
I miss
Dude, you were
Drunk dad.
Oh,
I miss the getting piss drunk. I miss that. That was always.
I'm just
fun.
trying to pace you, Dave. That's all.
I miss
Like you handed me water on 4th of July for 6 hours.
And I think we only did this like the first 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
After
but
hours?
After hours. I missed the after hours were
please,
fun, dude.
please.
We got to bring
It's
some
just
of those
once.
back. That was so fun.
When we get somebody cool back in town again,
Yeah.
like if Duncan comes up here
Yeah.
or anybody.
Dude,
like we had
the calls.
Yeah,
you know?
we had Gerald up here. We had JT Kenny up here.
Mm-hmm.
We had Luke Duncan up here. We had fun people up here. We had Cliff and Marisu in studio.
What a great show that was.
We had so many cool people in studio.
I'll never forget the after hours where we crank called Babe Winkleman.
Yeah.
And we left a message. He didn't. It was his office number, and we left a message on Babe's answering service.
Babe Winkleman.
My favorite
was
after
that when
hours.
Renwick and Fighter and Grow were here?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't remember.
My favorite after hours was when we had Cajun Baby and Marizu up here.
Oh, that was a good one.
But then the after hours out in your yard when you had the zip line.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like everyone just zip lining into a tree.
Full send.
Dude,
Nobody knew there was a pad at the end. They all full send.
That was awesome, dude.
And all Marizo and all his buddies, because his camera guys were here, the whole nine. It reminded me, who remembers the scene from Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes.
Where the Japanese guy is on the bike and he's drunk. He's on the little tricycle.
Yeah.
And the music's playing. He's just like, that was like Marizo and his buddies just crashing into the tree. Just.
See, I was thinking more like 5 Deadly Venoms. You know what I mean?
All right, now I might get ridiculed for this, but what's 5 Deadly Venoms mean, Dave?
There's an old kung fu theater movie back in the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean, dude?
Hey,
right.
Are you too young for kung fu theater?
Hey,
no, I know the a little bit.
He knows the
like
concept
with the,
of it.
Yeah, with the the
I
talking
know,
after the voice.
For younger people listening,
it kind of looks like our broadcast. Everything's kind of slowed down a little bit.
5 Deadly Venoms is kind of like the premier kung fu theater movie for me, and I'd say beats the Bruce Lee movies in my opinion because you had
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you had Scorpion. You had guys with Tiger. You had different guys with techniques. There were the 5 Deadly Venoms. You got to watch it, understand it. I don't know. That's all.
Guys with Tiger.
2 guys with Tiger. There was Scorpion. Somebody did Scorpion. Hey, do you remember?
What did the Cajun,
Frog, you Toad, or whatever.
what did the Cajun Baby and Marizo? What movie did they talk to each other through?
Yeah, I mean they did. They
Was
did
it
the scene
Waterboy?
from Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, they did the Jerry Maguire scene.
And we did the whole scene just to set it up. So Marisu had to say,
"Hello,
you had me at hello." It was like the whole thing just to set that up.
Just for that.
It was terrible.
Oh man! See, that's how we shoot you in New Jersey. We don't shoot your car. We shoot your soul, man.
I mean, like a year later, he retired. I mean, fuck, we probably
Yeah, but you know
kicked him out of
what? Tell
here.
me he didn't. We talk about the Philly crowd. He showed up with an Eagles jersey
Oh,
on.
they loved him.
He didn't even understand English, and they all loved
they
him.
loved him.
Second to you, they loved him.
Oh,
dude.
they loved Marizo.
You know?
Yeah, it was great. What a great tournament.
Yeah.
What an awesome time.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Marisu was cool.
Marizo was cool.
And where he
Marizo
caught
is
fish
cool.
at was completely goofy. I've never caught him off that little rocky jetty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
South of the ramp.
A lot have been caught since then.
No, I know, but I mean,
Of course they have. The damn tournament
Fisher's
ruined the
Point.
Delaware.
Yeah, ruined it.
No, but Marisu, there's a reason he's got a TV show in Japan for 20-something years.
I know. I have to catch.
Yeah, he just has this energy, this aura of positivity
Oh,
around
he
him.
does,
I
yeah.
remember
He's like the Japanese Mike Iaconelli.
Yeah, I remember feeling it for days after hanging out with that guy. And we
Yeah.
couldn't communicate that well, but it's just like
He's great.
Yeah,
he's got
great.
He's got kind eyes.
He's great. Yeah, he's great.
Soft hands.
The one funny thing about Marizo, I don't know if you remember me
Pouty
telling this
lips.
story, is so when I went to Japan, I finally I got to. You know the story? You know what I'm telling?
No, I know the picture of you two guys in your
In the geisha,
Oh, the
you're
geisha.
just like a geisha broad.
Yeah. No, this isn't the one I'm talking about. No, so we get to
in the fucking steam room.
Can you get that picture
Oh,
of
yeah.
the geisha?
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'm sorry.
We
go ahead.
eventually get to his hometown of Osaka, and so he said, I'm gonna meet you down at the ramp or whatever. I'm gonna drive. I'll meet you there because you live there. And every car or truck or SUV in Japan is little. Like the trucks are little, the SUVs are little. All of a sudden, I look and I see this truck coming. It's a fucking full-size Hummer, black Hummer, not the little Hummer, the big.
Oh, like
full-size,
like evading Saudi Arabia and Kuwait type
Yes,
shit, dude.
like
Oh my god, from the early
giant Hummer.
'90s. Yeah, from the '90s.
It's Marizo.
Wow.
Driving
in a Hummer.
In a Hummer.
That's
to
awesome.
meet me at the ramp. These little tiny roads, and I'm like, damn, who is this guy? Great
the picture
story.
of you in the geisha robe, man. That had me sideways though.
All right, I got.
You're
I
I don't know.
I got a breaking.
like
I got a breaking news announcement here. Breaking news announcement, guys. We are at almost 160 like and shares tonight.
Oh,
it is now official that if before the end of the show we make it to 175 like and shares, we're not only going to give away an Ike Live gift bag, we're also going to give away a Mike Iaconelli signed Ike Live hat.
Hey!
Give away 2 gift bags, dude.
2 gift bags.
2 gift bags.
And some stuff.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're still on there, like and share.
With Mike Iaconelli.
And
how about it?
Pete's going to give away the bags under his eyes.
Oh, man. Goddamn, Pete. Sorry.
So we got a few minutes left here, guys. Let's get the like and shares going.
No, come on.
Riz is like Jerry Lewis back there in the telethon, scraping coin.
All right, Pete, we have a precious 5 minutes here to pump a little stuff. Give me a little more BU. What do we got going on? We got the app. People
pumping.
watching right now. What do we got?
I tell you what the big news is.
Nope.
Is we have a scheduled shoot with KVD coming up in a couple weeks with Bassmaster.
Wow. KVD.
Huge.
The Kevin.
Yep.
It's awesome.
We're going to be, of course, Humminbird is a big sponsor of Bass University.
Yes.
And we're going to be working with him on that. We're going to be up in Michigan.
Nice. On his home turf? Or
on his home turf.
When do we leave?
Are you going up there, Pete, or are you sending like a droid?
I'm going to be sending a droid.
Gonna have like a robot.
Yeah, we have a few of them.
Pete 2.0.
It's going to be like some poor guy they hired for the day, just standing there with like a tablet pointing at Kevin with Pete's face on one side, and then Kevin.
Yeah, and he said he's programmed to say everything Pete says, but it's just more robot like, So he's like, I'm Pete Klusik, bitches. Some more robot like.
Travis
Hey,
Manson
we're super excited. Kevin's the best. He's one of the best teachers, and and we're psyched to have him. And that's the latest and greatest,
Wow, that's big news, Pete. That's big news.
Yeah.
It's also
That is big news.
Ned Riggs.
Home of the Ned.
We're a little worried about next year and hoping that we can have classes next year in 2021, and we'll keep all you guys posted. As soon as we get the final details on everything.
Nice.
But we're up and running. Just a lot of neat stuff. A lot of people have signed up to the app. It's like every day it just
the app's dope, Pete.
Yeah, it's going up and up and up. I'm glad you like it, BTC.
The app's awesome, man. Super easy to use, and it's fantastic. Like I said, I think that's the one thing that MLF absolutely beat Bassmaster on was the app.
Right.
Like when I go to watch Bassmaster Live on my phone, sometimes I got to watch the mother-loving Skeeter commercial 4 times before I'll actually get the live feed up.
Right.
Like, oh my God, there's a couple times where I just said, fuck it.
Right.
Yep.
But the app is flawless, right?
I freaking hate
But Bassmaster,
that.
no offense to Bassmaster, just get that shit right. But their live coverage, their events are amazing. They're killing it.
Yeah.
It's just going to the website and then dealing with it through the phone was a little bit wonky. But back to Bass U,
I mean,
the app's amazing.
Yeah, but you know what? That Skeeter commercial makes the My Pillow commercial look like friggin' I don't know, Schindler's List in terms of compelling footage. That Skeeter commercial's hard to sit through, man.
I hate when you refresh and you got to sit through that commercial, except when it's
God.
I got to watch it 3 or 4 times.
I would rather watch The View.
Hell no, bro.
The View.
At any rate.
The View. All right,
we're
Riz.
just here to talk shit on everything.
Riz, if I recall, click. We're up to 175 likes and shares.
We are. It was
wow. Thank you, everybody.
Great.
Thank you.
Great show. Thanks for everybody who's watching.
Yes, thank you guys for watching
likes and
tonight.
shares.
Yes.
And our winner for tonight's Facebook like and share is David Snedeker.
Whoa!
Snedeker?
I think he may be somewhat local, right?
Snedeker, yeah.
That's the metalhead.
Yeah, Sned's local, bro. He's the guy that welded my foot pedal tray in my boat.
Right.
He makes
right.
them. Yeah.
Yep.
Sneds.
Yeah, we know Sneds.
Shout out to Sneds.
Great guy. He's a South Jersey stick. And then the other winner for the Facebook like and share is Chad Bobo. Congratulations,
Chad Bobo.
Bobo.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Ohio. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Hey, so Ike Live, when's our next show?
I would say in the next week or so.
Real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, not next week, but maybe the week after.
Yeah. Oh, the Orso part.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Orso.
Orso.
more Orso than next week.
Where's the Orso on the
Here's
calendar?
the thing. Next weekend, I'm fishing my first professional kayak tournament.
Dude, tell me about that.
Yes.
So, have you fished a kayak tournament other than whooping Chad Hoover's ass in that one
Chad
event?
Hoover's the only other kayak event I fished.
Wow.
So I got a little bit of
Where
learning
is it
to
at?
do. It's on the Upper Susquehanna.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Are you prepared to bump board smallmouth?
No.
Mike.
I'm not prepared for anything.
Mike. That's a whole sport in itself.
Well, Charles is coming in on Tuesday.
Yeah, you need a couple days.
Charles is fishing it now?
He's not fishing it. He's coming. Tuesday's his office day. He's coming in Tuesday, but I'm forcing him out of the office for like an hour to go out here with him to just show me the procedure, right?
Oof.
You know, so it's like, and Dave, maybe you could enlighten me a little bit here, right? There's a board. It's got to be this Ketchco board. I ordered it already.
It's got to be a metal board now.
Right.
Someone was, I don't know.
Right. It's a metal Ketchco board. I have that. I have the cell phone holder. Charles sent me the link
just
for
Catch.
Catch. All right, not Ketchco, Catch. Anyway, so I got to learn how to put that John down, hold it a certain way, right? Can't be, his mouth's got to be closed and all that. And
So you got to have an indicator on your hand.
Right, yep.
So you got to get this smallmouth to the boat.
Yeah.
Got to net them.
Got to net his ass.
Once you net them,
yeah.
I believe there's a leash. And kayak guys jump in and
Well, who's the guy that won our?
I have it.
So you got the leash. So you leash the fish.
Yep,
Yeah.
the leash has the plier thing on it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have that.
So you leash the fish.
Yep.
Then you got to dig your phone out with your wet, slimy smallmouth hands.
Yep. That's
right.
Get your phone out.
Well, the phone's going to be around me.
Okay.
On my, I got a holder thing.
Lanyard.
Okay.
Lanyard thing. Yeah.
So you got to open your phone up.
Yep.
Press your code.
While
Get
he's
your
hopping
camera
around.
on with your wet hand and your
Right.
smallmouth there. Grab your bump board. Set your bump board in the right spot.
Yep.
And the first time when I did it, I don't know. I put it on the floor. I ended up breaking the bump board because the smallmouth was acting. It was an 18 and 3/4 inch smallmouth.
It's a big one, yeah.
Dude, it is so freaking hard.
Yeah.
You got to hold them there. You got to get back with your wet ass hand, mouth closed, tail on the line, indicator on your hand visible. Get back here, hit the button, look at the picture. Didn't come out right. Got to lean back, take another one, hit the thing. Your hand's wet. Now you're taking video.
He's right.
Dude, it's tough.
Yeah, the first one I ever did, I didn't know to put the board on the floor of the kayak. I had it on my lap. I'm getting the camera. He shot right off the side into the water.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Then there's
So
that.
you should put it on the floor or on your lap?
You got to put it on the floor, bro.
Yeah, if you could fit it on the floor.
And I didn't know about the clip at that time. I didn't have.
I didn't either. I didn't have the leash either.
I learned the clip
But
from
you
Matt
can't-
Hoover when he came up here.
But you can't keep the clip in as you're measuring it.
I don't think so.
That's just why
No,
you're collecting all your
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Charles will dial you in.
Yeah.
But it's difficult. It's very difficult. Yeah. Yeah. And you're in a kayak.
Right.
Yeah. But
I'm excited.
it is exciting. It's a new challenge.
Yeah, I'm going to end up getting about a day and a half of practice. I'm going to try to look at 3 different areas.
Yeah.
Charles is going to bring his trailer, so I'm going to borrow a trailer for this event. So I have a trailered deal for my kayak instead of bringing it out of the bed of the truck or off the top or whatever. So I'm excited.
2 things.
Yeah.
Adam Milstead's fishing that event?
Is he?
I think so.
That's right. I saw a text or something.
Dave,
yeah.
Adam Milstead fought in the UFC. He was the light heavyweight that was at the Ike Foundation.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam's fishing it, dude. So, he retired from the UFC, and he's been fishing a ton, and he's qualified for this event or signed up for this event.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to fish that. And then our homegirl, Christine Fisher, won yesterday.
Wow.
She did?
She won
Really?
yesterday.
That's awesome.
On Hartwell.
Wow.
The KBF event on Hartwell.
Congrats to Christine. That's awesome.
Let me
Nice
just check
job.
that information. That was a text message I got.
She'll be there next week. I saw her register for this event.
That's
Nice.
huge, dude.
Huge.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, she can catch them.
She's
the real deal. She's the real deal. Here's my real goal, though. The top 3 make money, but the top 3 qualify to go to the Hobie Championship, which
Where's
is
that at?
It's at Knoxville, Tennessee, which
Ooh.
I'd really, really like to be at in the fall. You know, I'm gonna have to be there anyway. Either I'm going to be there qualified to fish it, or I'm going to be there to host it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to do it. It would have been $1,000 event for me. I would have had to take off work without pay.
Yeah.
By the time you're done with everything.
Sounds great.
Where
doesn't
in
it?
Knoxville
Too
relative to where the Classic was 2 years ago?
Same fisheries.
So
They didn't officially announce it. They just said Knoxville.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure it'll be Loud and Tellico
and you'd be there in the fall.
in the fall. Late
Can
fall.
you take that fishery and like flip flop it from spring to fall as far as the fish's
I think
transition
so.
and where they're going?
I think there's things I could take.
Huh.
You know, the thing about these tournaments, though, it's all about length. You know?
Yeah.
You got
How
to
far
change
can
your
you go,
mindset
right?
a little bit. Because the upper
All about
Susquehanna,
length.
like I already started game planning in my mind. I'm like, you know, your initial thought is, well, you put a little net on, you do what we do there, you know, a little something, and you go through 50 or 60. Wow, it's going to be awesome. But how's that going to help you? Because you'll have 1 or 2 18-inchers, right?
This ain't MLF.
It's not MLF. So I need 5 long ones, man.
Yeah.
So now my mindset
baits.
is how to right.
Less fish.
Right. Bigger. Does
Top
it mean
water.
bigger bait? Does it mean top water?
Yeah.
Does it mean
Big
spinner
swim
bait?
bait.
Top water always gets a bigger
Does
bite.
it mean a big swim bait? Does it mean a big buzz bait? A big spinner bait? You know.
Hey, I got
That's
an
what you
MLF
gotta-
question for you.
Yeah.
So this came up, and actually somebody sent me a little bit of the information. So Keith Poche at this latest MLFLW event got DQ'd.
Yes.
For using
An
The
underrated.
motor-
He had a 90 instead of a 150. You have to
Was
have
it
nothing.
underrated?
Yeah,
it
you
was
have
an
to have.
undersized outboard.
has to
There's
be
a 150
150
minimum.
Yeah.
And he was undersized, so they DQ'd him.
He had a 90.
Okay.
Right.
No, it happened. That's exactly what happened, Brian.
What?
All right. Give me 1 second.
That doesn't sound right, but
No,
Well,
it's-
that's what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
There's a
Mike.
150 minimum, and he was undersized, so they DQ'd him for it.
okay.
That's crazy. Why would they have an undersize rating?
They have a
Probably
minimum.
for safety in case the wind picks up. That they're saying you have to get back your marshal safe, and with a 90, it's not as safe as having a 150.
I think they should bring that down to 9.9.
So allegedly,
Union Lake.
allegedly Wheeler practiced Chickamauga with a 115. But the rules are supposed to be the same for practice as they are for the event.
Yes.
So how did he get away with that?
Don't know.
Huh.
He's
I don't
like
know.
Maverick in Top Gun, man. He's right on the edge.
Huh.
Wheeler, always.
Always on that edge.
Whoever cheats
Lives
the
in
best
that gray,
wins.
man.
So anyhow,
Good for him.
that's what I got. So we're doing a Bass U Live, so Ike Live in a couple weeks, and you got an event this coming up weekend.
Yes.
We're going to do a Bass University this coming Tuesday. Mike, you're going to be on. You're going to join
I'm
us.
99% sure.
99. All right.
Yes.
Greg DePalma is also going to join us in studio.
Nice.
We're going to try to get Pete. Who are we trying to get?
Well, we might want to talk to Brandon again about how he uses electronics, and we're going to give you more feedback on that as soon as we know.
All right, cool. So we've got a Bass U coming. Then Wednesday night, Pat's doing his show. And he's probably going to have
Brandon on.
He's going to have Brandon on too.
Brandon 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row.
Yeah, Brandon's going to be like a spawner, just
Yeah.
like a smallmouth on a
Jeffries
bed.
will have him on, and then
Jeffrey's got him on like probably right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
right.
morning. But yeah, but Pat's got a show Wednesday night, and shout out to Pat. I know this Tin Cup started over there
Yes.
at Stray Cast, and they've been killing it. Stray Cast has been killing it.
Good whiskey.
It's good whiskey, and they've decided to expand in the fishing realm. They've come on with Ike Live. They've jumped on with Johnny Cruz. Happy to be working with you guys. So
Yes.
They're good guys with big pockets, man. They were throwing a lot of money around at the bar buying rounds for people.
I
dude.
like it.
Yeah, they're good dudes, man.
I don't know what we
If
got.
you're in
but
the
I got
alcohol
this.
business, you should throw rounds around.
They were
Sure.
throwing rounds,
Yeah.
going out of like they were going out of style.
Yeah.
Take us home, kid.
All right. Listen, what a great show. Want to thank our guests, of course, Brandon Palaniuk, winner today of the Elite event up on Lake Champlain. Ryan Salzman. You know I had to do that going out. I want to thank Ryan. Great stories, great insight on what the hell's going on in crazy Wonderland down there.
Yeah, and whatever he's doing, do something different.
Yeah,
they're shooting at you now, bro.
Make adjustments.
Yes, make adjustments. Want to thank everybody here tonight. Pete, thank you for joining us via Zoom. Rizzo, Dave, and Brian the Carpenter, thank you guys. And, of course, thank you for watching on this Sunday night. Look forward to the next one. It's going to be a good one. What do you think, Brains?
Yes.
There you have it. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Hi. Today we're going chest to chest in the Dr. Squatch lather test. On that half of Mike's impressive chest, we're rubbing him down with 3 name brand bars. The result? A sad, milky film of disappointment. How's that feel, Mike? You see, Big Soap cuts corners and strips out all the sudsy goodness in order to make production cheaper. But not Dr. Squatch. Don't worry, Mike. Dr. Squatch soap retains all the natural ingredients, which creates a rich, foamy lather, leaving your skin healthy, soft, and clean. Ooh, looks like Squatch is taking over this peck party. How do you feel now, Mike? Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. When we say it lathers, it f***ing lathers. You deserve glorious lather. Take the lather challenge for yourself today.
4.5-inch drop shot worm. Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J. Give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
This might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels bigger. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a... Oh!
27-incher.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my god, that's such a healthy fish. Look at the size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it. You can't even see it, man. That might be a keeper.